Hello, everybody. Welcome to the one-off Friday show, pre-drinks with Jon-Luc. That's what Aaron's called it on my behalf. Zaheer is running a little bit late, so we'll get him in anytime soon. But we've got Lee and Ian with us. So you want to introduce yourselves?
Go on then, Lee. You go for it.
Oh, we might have lost. Lee might have dropped off.
I did drop off for a second there. My internet just went.
Oh, it's all good. You can see you now.
All good?
Yeah, all good, all good.
No, good stuff. Hi guys. Anyway, yeah, my name's Ian, the master of pieces, part-time reseller, and yeah, looking forward to a few pre-drinks. It's bank holiday weekend, isn't it? So clocked off for the week now. Just time to start enjoying ourselves a bit, I think.
Are you back in on Tuesday now then, Ian? Do you have Monday off?
Back in Tuesday, mate. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, nice weekend with the family. Nothing particularly planned, but yeah, just gonna enjoy some time off. Yeah, I'll still be keeping in touch with eBay and keep on my sales, but get those feet up. I think it's important to have a break, isn't it? Now and then you just gotta have a break and just enjoy it.
I've got next week off, and I've got a busy week next week. Am I moving again?
Yeah, you're moving again. You got a busy week next week. You're off next week, was that?
Yeah, busy week next week. I've got it booked off because I've got to put a new floor in the dining room. So yeah, it's going to be busy.
I don't envy you. Ian, are you off on Wednesday as well? Then is that your eBay day now? Was it? Oh, there we are.
Was that to me?
Sorry.
Yeah, here he is.
I'm so sorry.
Here he is.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. Oh god, let me just make sure this is all. Yeah, everyone can hear okay and stuff. Yeah. Hi, by the way.
Yeah, we can hear you good.
No, I didn't forget anyone. I did say both of you.
Yeah, you got on.
Definitely forgot.
I thought there was for some reason. No, I didn't. I said you and I said Master of Pieces. Don't. I know I said you first, KOLA Flipper. I was like, I didn't say Lee, but I said KOLA Flipper. But I definitely said you. And for some reason, I thought there were more people.
No, it could be like an invisible man in the corner.
No,
you got it spot on.
I thought there was like loads of people. Man, I'm so bad with names though. Like generally, I hate that. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, it's just it can put you in such awkward situations. Like, you know,
it's because everyone is behind a name as well. Like, not everyone's got their name as their name. So we got KOLA Flipper, which is Lee, and then I'm Reselling White Boy. So it does take a little bit.
But your name's quite easy to remember because
it's a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you called KOLA Flipper then, Lee? Where's that KOLA come from?
The company I work for, they had like a business tool called KOLA, and I don't know why. I just thought I quite liked it. It's got nothing to do with anything, genuinely nothing. And I flip stuff and make some money. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's where your flippers come from.
Fair enough.
It's almost like Peter's vinegar jar. Like that's a mysterious name of Peter's.
Mine's really original. I just chose my name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably your best bet. If you find you on YouTube, it's just your name.
It's my name.
So we'll say hellos in the chat. I've not mentioned anyone yet. We got Ricky Lee, who was 81 minutes early, as always. Yorkshire Trader says, Ricky, get a hobby. We got T-Side Reseller, Hustlers Emporium. We've got Aaron in the chat. Global Thrifters, Jack and Emily. Andrew's in before he goes live. You okay, Andrew? Jenny Cliff Whatnots. Andrew, I think he's called Mark. Am I right in saying that? We've got Andrew, LB Retro, Kerry, Yorkshire Traders, and we've got Thomas as well. Chewy. Zaheer, you have some selling to do. Look behind you.
Yeah, there's some stuff.
Well, I heard from your streams here that your market went well this week.
It did, yeah. It went
sweet.
Yeah, it went a lot better than it's ever been. Like, yeah, but bear in mind, I've only been like 4 times now.
Yeah.
Well, I've only been 4 times. But it's the potential. You know, when you see the potential in something.
Yeah.
And it's it's just crazy. It's crazy.
What
did you have a pitch this time?
Sorry.
Yeah, the pitch was okay. It wasn't the best kind of spot, but it wasn't the worst. It wasn't as bad as it was the week previous. But I think like for me, it was more just the eye-opening. It's just the customer is different, it's a different customer. It's not like selling at a car boot. Like I've been selling a lot of my old stuff at a car boot as well. But I did try take a few bits just to see what it's like. But obviously at the car boot, people want bargains, it's understandable. At the market, it was a different customer.
What like in terms of you selling your NECA figures, like some lower value figures, what have you found sells better, or is it a mix of everything at the minute?
See, this is the weird thing. Like at first, the first few times I went, I took more cheaper stuff. So because I thought stuff that I could sell for like a $5 or a $10 or something, I took more of that range of figures and things. But I've actually found I've been upping that, and like this time I took the most I've ever taken of the better stuff, and it was the better stuff that was selling. It's the good stuff that was selling. So £35 figures, £30 figures, people buying two of £20 figures, like the Funko Pops that I bought did sell as well. Because I was doing those for like £7 each or 2 for a tenner, and people were picking up 2 for a tenner, and I paid like barely over £2 each on those, so it's okay.
That's awesome. So like how are the prices comparing to if you were to sell them on eBay, for example? Is it similar, or you getting a bit less? Or
in some cases I think I'm getting better, because
amazing.
when in terms of like profit margins, because obviously you just to put this out there, when you're obviously buying in wholesale or whatever, you're not making the kind of profits we're used to. If you can turn like a £20 sale into 40, you've done well. Like that's really good, right? But when you take into account that you're selling it basically at eBay prices, and you're not paying a lot of obviously the fees or the postage out of it, you actually work out a lot better. And I think that's why when it comes to opening accounts with a lot of wholesalers and things, that's why you tend to find that there's that roadblock, because they won't open an account, or they'll have stipulations like you can't sell this on a third-party platform, i.e., the only ones anyone cares about, eBay and Amazon. So that tends to be like the stipulation, like if you want to open an account, or they just won't open one unless you've got some kind of physical place to sell it from.
Have you been taking your fakes that you picked up, as like a comparison?
No. I did actually want to, but it's just just flipped my mind, because that is actually something I wanted to do, just to show people the dangers of buying online, because it is a real shame, but like I said, like that is like a £60-70 figure, really. It's a Tamashii Nations figure by Bandai, but if you go on eBay, you'll find these selling for £60-70, but then you'll find them selling for 15 or 20. Now, that's because one of them was obviously real, one of them is going to be just a poor quality fake. But the problem is obviously that eBay is going to promote those listings, because those are going to get sales, and it's just not really it's not conducive to. It's not really conducive to that kind of item. So, I mean, we don't normally have to worry about this stuff, because we're buying one-offs, we're buying like unique items when we're out at the car boots and things. So you don't have to worry about this. But it's a different world when you start buying things that you've got competition with. It's a different. You have a whole bunch of different things to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the whole fake kind of thing, and it literally only takes a couple of those fakes to be priced at the higher range. People buy them because they think they're the real thing. They just lose confidence with eBay as a platform. And I think it doesn't just knock on that item, it goes across, and you lose that trust. I mean, at the minute, there's a thing going around of people 3D printing Warhammer.
Yeah.
And that's getting out there, and it's getting into the market, and people are losing trust buying Warhammer because of it.
It's going to hurt I think in a way, I suppose this is why on Amazon you hear about brands stopping for people from selling their products, because it's going to hurt the brand. Like if you're, for example, like if you're for example Games Workshop and you want to charge people like 100 quid for a board game, and then someone comes up with like a knockoff of your board game, looks identical to the untrained eye, but you can buy that for 35 quid, people are going to buy it. But then when they buy it, they're going to be like, this is a bit, I was expecting more, or you know, these pieces don't quite fit, or the paint doesn't stick or finish correctly, because the paint that's one of the things, isn't it? It's like and then that's a bad experience, and then that's the end of it. Like if you were to buy like a fake action figure, for example, and you've spent, say, you know, even 20 or 30 quid, you'd be like, you know, this is rubbish or whatever. That's it. You're done. You know, you won't.
Well, I was saying, did you see Ricky Leard? He'd bought I think it was a high chair for his youngest kid, and the item came. It was fine, but it was packed so badly that it was just immediately, this is a bad buying experience immediately, and he hated it before even opening it. So it just goes to show you can get completely turned off an item or a platform through one bad experience.
Yeah, of course. And it's like you say, if someone buys a fake figure and they're not happy, then they might never go and buy a real figure ever again, because they just feel put off by the whole experience. And it's not fair really on the companies that are making these great figures. There's people that just undermine it.
Or any product really. It's like I suppose that's why they're so protective, like of their brands, some of them, you know. But it's a shame. Like I think when it comes to like the platforms with their rankings and their sales rankings, it's kind of a really bad vicious circle though, because they're getting sales, you know, they're getting sales, and the algorithm's picking it up and boosting these fake products to the top, and
a lot of feedback as well, a lot of positive feedback as well. It's just like, what?
Well, the thing is, this is the thing. If you didn't have the real one to compare it against,
you'll never know.
You think you're okay?
How would you know?
Yeah, but it's only when you compare it that you realize the differences, and once you know the differences, you know what to look for, and then it sticks out like a sore thumb. But like if you've never owned that product beforehand, like if you've never owned like real Lego, but you end up buying those really advanced, complicated Technics type sets that are being sold now that aren't, you know, you might just think that's the same thing, but I don't know, it maybe is.
Well, it's like if I'm a collector, and if I was to buy something that was fake and not even know about it, that's the worst thing. Like if half of these pops might be 40-50 pound pops, but they're faked online. Like I can tell, you know, how like different stickers and stuff like they are fake, but you do feel put off that people can get a really great collection, and some things might not be real if they're not really thinking about it.
I didn't even think that people would fake the Funko Pops.
Yeah, even
consider it.
Even Funko Pops are fake now. Yeah,
I wouldn't say even. I'd say especially because honestly, Lee, they're just like they've taken on a life of their own. There are collectors that will collect exclusively just those, and some of them are just taking on insane values now. And anything that becomes collectible like that. I mean,
I invested in a few a little while ago. I say, you know, it's usually the things that aren't that popular that end up being discarded as not valuable. So the Star Wars Solo movie wasn't particularly popular, and I managed to get the full set of the Funkos for that movie. They're all cling filmed up in boxes in the loft. They're staying there for 20 years.
Awesome.
Touching them.
That's just it. You're right. It's things that at the time are not considered good. It's always that way. And then, you know, I mean, like, there's a guy like, I mean, I'm not into like trading cards myself, but there's a guy I watch called Rudy, like Alpha Investments. He does videos about Magic the Gathering, but he's some next level guy. But the amount of times he's talked about where whenever they release like a new set of cards or a new box, people talk about the expected value because it is a collectible trading card game. And so there's websites which work out the expected value of a case. So if you were to buy the box, what the value of the cards is and how much it would be worth. So it's like a stock market situation straight off the bat. But the thing is, he said it time and time again. It's like, it's the ones that get slated. So when the cards, a set of cards is launched and people are slating the expected value, they're saying it's a terrible set, no one's going to want it. Those are the ones that, for the long-term investor, become the gold mines, because what happens is the sales aren't good. So Wizards will cut the print run off earlier than they otherwise would because the demand's not quite there, which then obviously means there's a smaller supply, and then people that buy the boxed stock and keep it sealed. And again, 20 years, 30 years down the line, that's exactly what happened with that's exactly what the whole thing is based on. I mean, Magic the Gathering is just, it's mind-bending.
Yeah.
Mind-bending.
Ian, here's one for you. So I know is it two kids you've got?
That's right. Yeah. Two boys.
I've got a girl and a boy, and what I do is whenever I get them a Lego set, I'll buy two of them. They get one to keep and play with. The other one gets wrapped up, stuck in the loft. And then when I sell that on in a couple of years' time, both have been paid for. It's free. So free toys.
Yeah,
that's a good
play.
That's a good Does that mean you've got the new NES already then, Lee, or the new?
No.
No,
I've still got my NES from when I was a kid. I've got my NES, SNES, N64, my GameCube. So got all them.
But that Lego set looks crazy though.
I know,
that's pretty sweet, that one, isn't it?
Smart.
Yeah,
a lot of money though.
Yeah, but that's gonna appreciate, isn't it? It's already selling out when it comes in and it sells out. But again, this is the thing. It's like, it's popular, but because of its cost, they probably still won't make tons of it. It's kind of like whenever they launch those giant, the Millennium Falcons and the Death Stars. Because they're so expensive, they never make a massive amount of them, do they? I mean, they make enough for the what? Do they make enough for demand? I don't know. I'm not really.
I reckon with the Ultimate Collector Series ones, they make just enough for like the people who collect them, but they don't make like a ton. Yeah, so it's definitely worth investing. That SNES the NES is absolutely fantastic. Like the way you can like move the television and like the cart goes in and presses in and stuff, like it is perfect. But yeah, like you say, it's expensive, but it will definitely appreciate in value. I've actually got a couple of pops here, just for example. It's the stickers on the bottom that like verify the the reel and stuff. But they've actually stopped doing these now, the stickers.
Oh, right.
They've got like a little code on the bottom, very tiny code. But my problem is, you won't be able to see. I've not got Zaheer's camera, but it says like DRM 190905. But what's stopping the fakes from putting that code on now? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just all.
That's the thing with those stickers, though, Jon-Luc. That's those things with those stickers.
I know.
You're not going to find anything much easier to copy than a sticker, are you?
Yeah, it's just literally a basic sticker like that. But what can you do? You just got to trust in your buyer. Like I always buy them from like Forbidden Planet or a certain collector, so I kind of authenticate them. But yeah, it's just not. It's not a nice feeling if you bought a fake. It's like I was saying before, the football shirts for next season. There's a website called dhgate.com. Very similar to like Alibaba. And it's got all the next season's football shirts on there at like less than half the price. They look pretty much immaculate, like in terms of. I was on Twitter the other day, and I follow a lot of City fans on there, and they said, "Oh, it's so expensive, £113 for this certain kit with it's like the Champions League kit, all the printing and stuff." I got one from DHgate for 30 quid, the same one, and it's like, you're not really helping your club by doing that. You're not really helping like the economy. It's just, you're feeding into like the fake beast community. It's just like, it's not positive at all. Yeah. DHgate, that is DH and then gate.com, I think. But it's just, it's ridiculous. It's mad. What was you going to say, Insur?
Oh, mate, no, not much, mate. I was just going to say, I've got my little Funko Pop collection up there, which is pretty minuscule, like compared to yours. But I've got Mariah Carey, and I'm waiting for Mariah Carey to make a massive comeback. And that's going to be worth millions. You watch.
What were you going to say? You were waiting for her to die. I thought that's what you were going to say.
Yeah, that's a bit dark.
I think that's brilliant. I didn't even know there was a Mariah Carey.
I'll grab it. It's worth grabbing.
I've got to see a Mariah Carey Funko Pop. I know they do like I think Notorious B.I.G. one. That's valuable.
Yeah, I've got a few of those. I've got Easy E came the other day. Just arrived. Easy E.
You've got your cool Walking Dead ones. I
Yeah,
got Merry
Mariah.
Christmas, Mariah, haven't I?
Oh,
Oh.
Merry Christmas! That is actually
That is
pretty
cool.
cool.
How
That's
about
cool.
that?
I've got a great story with Funko Pop. So my brother is in his 30s. It was about 9 years ago now when Pops were just first coming out, and he bought the whole family one. He bought my brother a 2-pack. He brought my mum and dad a Michael Jackson, and he bought me a Gamorrean guard of Star Wars. So the Gamorrean guard's still worth £10, the same value after 9 years. The 2-pack's like over 300. And the Michael Jackson's like 200-300 as well.
Wow.
So I got the bad end of the stick on that one.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
Yeah, but yeah, there's some great value.
Something that's always interesting about like Funko Pops like is if you've read into because I wasn't even thinking of reselling and stuff, or I was quite young even myself back when the Beanie Baby craze happened, but I've read about it and like, you know, about how it all happened, and it's really interesting like how there was a point where people literally didn't think that they would go down in value, and there were stories like 10% of all eBay sales were Beanie Babies. The average sale price was like $30 per Beanie Baby, and there were some exchanging hands for thousands, and people actually saw them as an investment, an actual bona fide investment. And like I'm like thinking like, what are your guys' thoughts? Like if you haven't, you should definitely look into it and read about it. It's really interesting. It turned the owner, Ty, whatever his name is, he turned him into a billionaire in like 3 years.
God.
Like literally, it was just the most crazy thing in the world. But what are your guys' thoughts? Like, if you know anything about it, like, how do you feel about the Funko Pop craze? Because what has made Funko Pops so investable as well, because they are, aren't they? Like in the high end of the market.
I think for me with Funko Pops, I mean, I bought those, stuck them in the loft. I don't collect them otherwise, but it's that there's so many pop culture references that so many people can identify with either a single one or a TV series or whatever, that there's going to be that buy-in from all over the place that people are going to want to collect them. So you've got a really wide customer base, but long term, where those prices go, it's you know, you get a bubble, it collapses, it'll grow again, it's going to go up and down.
I mean, like with anything collectible and anything that's worth value, they've got it completely right by actually retiring them as well, haven't they? So that drives up the demand. If you retire sets after a certain time, that drives up the demand. But one thing I don't understand, right? Let's use Mariah as an example. They all pretty much look the same, don't they? They got pretty much the same face. They got maybe some different hair, different clothes, but they're all the same mold. So that's got to be super cheap for them to just run off, isn't it? All got the same boxes, same print and that. But I think the key to them keeping relevant is not just reproducing the same ones. So they've done loads of the Marvel ones recently, and they've done some Incredible Hulk ones, and they've done Incredible Hulk in about 20 different colors. So they've just got to keep buying those licenses and just keep making them.
With Pops, it's just reaching a wider audience. So they have literally, for every show you watch now, there's probably a Funko Pop line, and I think in one way it's bad because they're just making an absolute ton of them. But then again, it draws other people in. Thing I like about them is the limited run, like the retired sets and stuff. Now it's just like there's a million. Like you couldn't buy every Funko Pop. It's
like, what's the official company line? Because I know, like, again, going back to like the whole Magic thing, they've got something where they call it the reserve list cards, and those are anything
vaulted.
And that's like an official thing from Funko where they've said they won't break that, and
so they'll probably reproduce that character, but that one pop is vaulted.
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
I sold those, the full set, so the 4 Turtles, Shredder and Splinter. I picked them up at a car boot sale for £20, and I had them up for $250 for, I think it was 3 months, and then I had a couple of offers come in. I took 180. Was it 185?
Amazing.
Yeah, 185 plus postage. That went over to Italy by GSP, and that was with cracked boxes. I think 2 or 3 of them had the cracked plastic. So I made sure really, really clear pictures. but to go from 20 to 185, it's ridiculous.
I was wondering why they didn't make it into your loft. Is it because of the cracked boxes? Otherwise, they would have.
To be honest, they're part of my childhood, but you know, I'm in it for the money.
Yeah, but I tell you what, if there's ever an advocate for keeping the boxes for something, it is those, isn't it? I mean, the boxes in some cases are worth more than the actual pop itself, aren't they?
It's like you've got. I think the good thing with pops as well, they stack very well. So to keep them in, but like when figures are on card, it's tough. Like you can either hang them on a wall or has them on stands, but pops literally just stack and stack and stack. So you can just go and fill walls up forever.
It's like an OCD dream, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a little world, to be honest. But my friend's like an avid pop collector, and he bought the Beatles, like the original Beatles, with it's like the yellow submarine, the blue guy off it. He paid about $450 for the set, and it's like they've gone up in value since he bought them about 12 months ago. But they came out at the similar time as like the 2-pack, the biggie. Now they've re-released 2-pack of bigger. They've not done the Beatles yet.
Yeah, but the re-releases, are they they're like different?
Yeah, like 2-pack's like 300, and then the re-release, like they retail at a tenner. They think they're like 30, 40, 20, 30, 40. Now I've got them all, but they're not really.
Like
they're different.
You know, the re-release, but so the re-release of 2-pack will never match the
original release
will always,
they're all like lower quality. They're not as detailed. They're all very, very basic. So that you can kind of tell if you see one, you think, oh, it looks pretty basic. That'd be probably an older one, but they will fake the old one as well.
Yeah,
or a fake. Yeah,
that's fair enough. I have recently invested of getting those midlife crisis things. I've spent a little bit of money as well, but I'm chuffed though. I just bought a bunch of these are for myself.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, that is wicked.
These are SOTA figures. You know, I mentioned those
before.
You
did mention
state of the art figures. That's what it stands for. Basically, these are just incredible. They're just like they were the first properly articulated figures that came out. I think like really good quality plastics and
You got a full set then? You got a couple?
Not a full set, but I got a bunch of them basically. And there's Ken. Yeah, that's yellow Ken. I just like their.
I didn't really like Ken. Didn't really like him as a character.
No. There's a T-Hawk. He's awesome. That's cool. He's huge. He's got his, so yeah.
That's cool.
What was it? Vega looks amazing actually.
Go on, let's have a look.
We've got Adon as well. If you remember Adon.
Are they going to be staying in the box?
There you go. These are going to be.
Yes.
There's a couple. There's a couple which have got a bit of yellowing to them, but even then, you know, like when they've been out in the sun. But even then, this is one of those things that will only just keep.
What is the year on them?
Appreciating. I don't know. I think they're like 2005 on that one. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, because these aren't going to. You know, the company's gone now, so. They do. You know, these are quite renowned. So I'm like, I'm probably going to keep them sealed.
Did you get them in a bulk, or did you get them individually? Or
no, I bought them in a lot from a dealer. From a dealer.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. They weren't cheap.
It's an investment piece.
They were fairly priced. Yeah, it was something I wanted to. But
it's like I was in a charity shop the other day and I found a King of the Hill box set. 1 to 5. I've only ever watched Series 1 and it was brand new and sealed, £20, but on eBay it was 40, but I wanted it for myself, so I paid up for it. It's like, if you want something yourself, you will pay it, won't you? You know?
King of the Hill is fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. I just remember the theme tune.
Boomhauer, man. I remember Boomhauer.
We've got a question anyway. I've neglected the chat a little bit. We've got, what would you class as your speciality item? And also, do you often take a risk on items you're not too knowledgeable with? So we start with Lee. Do you want to go first?
Yeah. Clothes and shoes are my speciality. I'm a very visual person, and I wouldn't say I've got a photographic memory, but if I see a label or a brand, it sticks with me. So if I'm then flicking through a rack of clothing, even if I don't always recognize the name, I may recognize the label. So clothes and shoes are probably where it's my speciality.
Yeah.
But even then, if I don't know the brand, I'm really good now at picking up the tells of a quality manufacturing item. So even if I don't know the brand, I can look at it and see if the stitching is good. I can see it's made of silk or cashmere, or I can feel it, and I'll then take a punt on something, even if I don't specifically know the actual item. And I guess with regards to items that will I take a risk? Yeah, I'll take a risk if I can see there's value in it. I'll take a risk, because most of the time I've made profit on everything else. So yeah,
it's always an educated risk as well, isn't it? Like, you get a good feeling about it. You watch a lot of people, and you kind of have like a little subconscious thing telling you, yeah, get that. And sometimes when you don't take a risk, you end up regretting it as well.
Yes.
Unless, it's normally a low value risk as well. Who wants to go next? Zaheer, do you want to go jump in next?
Yeah, why not? I'd say resellers are probably too humble. And I'd say that, like, over the longer you do it, the more stuff you dabble in, you do learn insane amounts of stuff. It depends on, I suppose it depends on what kind of person you are, but like, if you're the kind of person that, say if you're into something, you get into it quite heavily. So if you're that kind of person, then you will become a very knowledgeable reseller. Like, I might not sell clothes and shoes now, but because I've sold them in the past quite a lot for quite a few years, again, there's certain things I know to look out for. Like, I've spent hours learning about how shell cordovan looks versus normal leather for a pair of shoes. Brands of shoes stick in my head. I know styles of shoes. Those things just stick, like you said, like the feel of especially cashmere or something like that as well. You will learn that, and then the same will go with anything else. If you pick up a bit of electronics, you'll soon learn like the weight of an amp can sometimes give you a good indication of the quality of the amp. And I know that sounds like a really dumb thing to say, but what you're paying for with an amp is the quality of the power supply. That's what you're paying for. The cleaner the power supply, that is the cleaner the sound. It's not the capacitors you're paying for. I mean, yeah, you can give fancy names to them, but it's the power supply. So if you see like a made in Japan or a made in England amplifier that weighs a lot, you need to look into it further, and you pick all of this kind of stuff up. And depending on what your personality is like, do you deep dive into stuff? Like I wasn't into RC that much before I got into, like, before I started picking it up, and then you deep dive into it, and then you do the same thing with you get into your action figures, or you get into your video games. You deep dive, and the more you do that, and you've got the internet. I mean, hours of videos. Like, I know so much about Magic when I don't even dabble in it, but I know a lot now.
Endless possibility with the internet.
Well, thanks to Ian, I'm now an expert in Little Thomas the Tank Engine bits.
Transformers as well.
Yeah, I mean, so with me, I just love selling toys, and my whole reselling theory is because I do this part-time, I do it completely for fun. I don't need to make a profit from this to live. Basically, everything I make is just so I can spend on more stuff or treat a family, whatever. So everything I buy is stuff I am interested in. But sometimes, right, I just go down these niches and just follow them, and it takes me to places I never thought I'd go to. So I now know a lot about Trackmaster Thomas. I don't even like Thomas the Tank. I kind of watch it with my sons. I watch it with my sons. I sit through it. I know the characters, but because of that, I can bring that into reselling. I know a bit about Thomas the Tank, and then whenever I see a bundle on Facebook Marketplace, because that's where I do buy most of my stuff from, I will research that to like the nth degree. Like, before I've even like made an offer, I will look up 4 or 5 of the different bits in detail, make sure I'm going to get my money back, and that's when I'll take a punt on it. If I know I'm going to make my money back, if I make some profit, that's a bonus. But so I research every single thing on sold listings, even all the Trackmaster stuff. I've sold tons of it. I will still approach a new bundle and research every train to see what the market is doing at the minute, because eBay's up and down, isn't it? Sometimes things sell for a lot, sometimes they don't. The same item.
Yeah, very true.
That's the beauty of you sourcing on Facebook as well. There's no there's still a little bit of pressure. Something might go, but you've got a little bit more time to jump in and just methodically think about what you're going to do.
Yeah. One of the things I like to do right on Marketplace is, in a way, I don't bother with the stuff that is just listed up because people will be in there quick. And I like the stuff that's been on there 3 or 4 weeks, has been hanging around, and then you just send in a cheeky little offer. You know, this has been hanging around. Maybe if I go half price, I can come and collect it today. I think you're more likely to get a deal that way.
Yeah, I'm notorious for just going newly listed or going video games newly listed, and I think that's not the right way of going about it sometimes, because you could be there all night and you might not see nothing.
If you're quick, if your first
you
5
can
minutes,
get stuff,
minutes, then you can, but you've got to be on it like all the time.
Yeah, I had a lot more success in lockdown. Like everything just seemed to pop up on Facebook during lockdown. I was getting wee bundles like nothing ever, but now it's a bit of a struggle. It's a bit of a struggle, really. Gumtree's done okay as well. I think it's a bit quieter on Gumtree, so you can get couple more minutes in, I think.
Breathing room.
Yeah, a little bit of breathing room.
I think one of the other things that's interesting is the fact that, well, 3 of us are part-time resellers, and we the day job pays for the bills, which means there isn't the same pressure on having to make a profit. And I think that makes it, I approach it in a very, very different way because I'm a part-timer than compared to than if I had to rely on it for paying the mortgage and the bills and the car and everything. So yeah, it makes a big difference.
I've got to say, even though I don't have like an employed job, since Beck went back full time, that has been massive for us as well, because for the same reasons. Like, we now know that our rent is always covered, council tax covered, whatever. So that gives me that kind of, it just relaxes you that bit, doesn't it? And then it means that you find that you actually do better because of that. Whereas before it was really tough when, like, because we tried everything. Like, we were both trying to resell, then we're trying to resell with a working part-time, and then in the end it's just been like, look, no, the pressure wasn't working really. So
yeah,
I think for me it's go on in.
No, I was just going to say that that there is a pressure, and I do feel a bit of a pressure, even though I'm a part-time. And it's because I don't want to waste my time. There's so many different things pulling at me at the minute. I've got my family, I've got my work, I've got my lifestyle, I've got my friends, got my hobbies, and I've got this. And if I'm doing this, and I do spend a lot of time, like we all do, you have to spend a bit of time to make this successful. If you're only bringing in, say, 100 quid, 200 quid a month profit, you think, is that worth the hours I'm putting in? So that I do feel the pressure like that.
Yeah,
I think that's why, as when I first started this, I was, I got into this through watching Nick and Zaheer, and it was okay. So I can make a bit of money going to a car boot sale, and I would just pick up anything that would make me a couple of pound profit, and it didn't matter if it was making me £3, £5, £10, 15, and I would just pick it up. Now, I've realised where I live, getting quality items is not a problem. So I'm so much more picky with what I'm picking up, and if I can't make, it's either got to be something that can flip within one cycle, or it's got to make me a minimum of £20 after fees. If it doesn't tick those boxes, or it isn't something that might be a gamble worth taking, I just don't pick it up, because I don't have the time. I've worked out I've got now over 1,000 litres of unlisted stock in boxes. So
that's a good amount.
and all of that should be sort of £15 to £20 plus profit per item. But my job's changed recently. So with lockdown, before lockdown, I could walk into town and I would hit 13, 14 charity shops on my lunch breaks. Every lunchtime I'll be out in a charity shop. I'm working at home. I'm going to be working at home for the rest of the year, so I can't go to charity shops when car boot sales tail off. So I'm just trying to get as much as I can in now, and I'll just deal with the backlog when I can. But it's been a bit of a change this year.
Yeah, it seems like you've proper tuned in on what you need to do, like more high valuable items, and just more time efficient for what you can do, kind of thing, because you got your family to work on, and everything like that. And it's cool. I'm just gonna have a quick catch up with the chat. Probably about half an hour behind. I'm seeing chats from 8:28. So
Let's go into the chat.
I'll jump down a little bit. Any questions? Do pop them in, guys, and I will.
I got Tommy and Tracy in here as well.
Have you guys ever dealt in Kid Robot or in any other vinyl figures? I actually collect a little bit of Kid Robot, but I've never really bought and sold them. I know there is quite a bit of value in them though. Don't know about you guys. They're just a small vinyl figures, Kid Robot. They're normally in like a blind bag.
Never heard of them.
They're done like Simpsons, Futurama, little bits like that.
No,
but yeah, they're quite hard to get hold of now.
I've heard the brand, but like Kid Robot, but I've not dealt with anything like that myself.
Yeah, pretty cool. Even in like I go in Forbidden Planet now, and they've not stocked them for about 5 years. And then just before lockdown, they bought in like a Godzilla line. So I thought, yeah, get one of those. Not seen them for a long time. John at YLM, he said my Steve Irwin is well protected and put away for the future. Yeah, he won. He won my Steve Irwin pop. I actually got that from the Australia Zoo, like their actual zoo. I ordered it when they released it. It's cool.
I've got a Steve Irwin from Australia Zoo that I bought 19 years ago, and it's on a piece of card, the plastic front, and if you squeeze him, he'll say stuff like, "Isn't she a beauty?"
Wow.
I've never ever opened it, so I've had that for nearly 20 years now.
Wow.
I'd love to go in your loft. I think there'd be a lot of good stuff up there by the sounds of it.
Yeah, there is.
Great. So did you say, was it Tommy who's in the chat?
Yeah, Tommy and Tracy, man.
Is that Tracy? I think I remember.
Tracy, yeah.
Hello, Tracy.
Hi, Tracy.
Martin, Michelle, thank you for tuning in, Tommy. Right, let's see. Jump down to the bottom. Krillin is live on Drinking with Andrew at the moment. John and Krillin have an uncanny resemblance. John is Krillin 15 years ago. I've never seen what Krillin looks like.
Krillin's the best, man. You need to see Krillin.
He said Jon-Luc. Tracy said Jon-Luc should have Krillin as a guest sometime. I'll have to get chatting with him. I'm sure I'll be able to get him on and have a chat. So yeah, what are the plans for the weekend, guys? Obviously, it's a bank holiday. Is there any downtime you're having? You going out anywhere? And obviously, boot sales as well. There'll be an extra one on. Are you hitting one up on Monday?
What I like to do at the minute, guys, is over the weekends, I just expand my search radius on Facebook Marketplace. And then, like I said earlier, I do like to make the most of my time. So if I find something, then I like to take the family along and we'll plan a day trip around the pickup. So I'll pick some up, and then in the same town, we'll go for a walk and go out for a bit of lunch. So I've been exploring different parts of the Welsh valleys. And tomorrow, I'm going up and doing a trade with Welsh Poker Picker. Actually, he's in like a lot of the chats. I don't think he's in tonight, but yeah, he's swapping loads of Pokemon stuff, and he's got loads of stuff he's got from a charity shop and can't shift. So yeah, we're doing a bit of a trade. But apart from that, just enjoying the countryside, mate. Getting outdoors.
Wales is great for it. My mum and dad are actually going to Wales on Monday. They're going to, is it Betsy Coed? Not sure how you pronounce it. Yeah, I'm not sure how you pronounce it in the actual Welsh speech, but yeah, I've got a nice empty house, me and my cat for the week. What are you up to, Lee, during the bank holiday?
Nothing much really. I mean, car boot wise, my favourite one, which I'm not going to say where it is, they do one on the Sunday and on the Monday. But usually the Monday one, it's all the dregs left over from Sunday. So I'm hoping that the weather's good on Sunday and I'll hit it hard on Sunday. But other than that, it's a bit of family time before putting the floor down on Monday. So,
all right, sounds good. What about you, Zaheer? Anything special?
Going to be chilling this weekend. The whole bank holiday weekend, we're going to just relax, go out, and I think we're not doing anything. No car boots, nothing. Just going to.
Don't blame
you. Yeah, you got to enjoy it sometimes. Yeah, it's not it's bank holiday weekends don't come up that often, so it's a 3-day weekend for the missus. So
it's supposed to be quite not bad weather up north either. I think I've seen a bit of sunshine in it.
Yeah, it's not meant to be bad. Yeah, we're meant to be okay, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, one off.
Yeah.
I've tomorrow I'm picking up my MacBook from the Apple Store, and then I'm watching the new Tenet film. Christopher Nolan.
Are you watching it tomorrow?
It came out on
it's
Wednesday.
just come out.
Yeah, Wednesday it came out. So I booked it for tomorrow. So I'm gonna pick the MacBook up, watch that with my dad. So that should be cool.
Yeah. Do you have to wear a mask in the cinema then?
Yeah, I think you do.
I don't know. I'll just quickly slide it down a little bit and
yeah,
just to get a breath, But I'm not sure if you do. I'm guessing you do. It's kind of like a shop, maybe. I don't know. I'll report back and let you know. But yeah, I'm excited for it. As you know, I deal with my Christopher Nolan films. Everyone knows that now. I've got my Interstellar figures.
Oh, every
right,
time I'm on a permanent chat with you, that Interstellar
It's like-
figure just like comes from the
it's
side.
like
Oh, guys, have
generally-
you seen this?
It's like
No,
it's like
haven't.
the fishing reel. It's like the fishing reel, isn't it? Jack and Emily. Yeah, we got this.
Oh
figure.
yeah, like that. Yeah,
You're right.
I know.
But yeah, I booked it for tomorrow. I'm really excited for it. So I think it's got an 8.4 on IMDb. So
I
it's
think
well up there.
I might book this actually. It's on at my local. We've got like the best cinema.
Yeah,
Like,
an
yeah.
off, not like Odeon or View, like quite a
No,
small.
yeah, it's just some. Yeah. Oh wow, is it? What do they actually have it? The New Mutants.
What's it called again, Jon-Luc?
And it's got Denzel Washington. in
Tenet.
it as
Yeah,
well.
it's the
Yeah.
new Nolan
Tenet.
movie where it all goes. Yeah, it's all
Backwards
in
and all.
reverse or something. Yeah.
It looks great. So I'm well up for that tomorrow. That'll
What's
be
the
good.
New Mutants like?
I'm not too sure about that.
Oh yeah, the New Mutants. Oh, it's
Although
good.
Jon-Luc, it's the first film he's done for a while that doesn't have Zimmer doing the music.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, and that's a big thing, man. Isn't it? It's a big thing because obviously they did the Dark Knight trilogy. They've done Inception, Interstellar. Was he Dunkirk as well? I think he did, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard some of the soundtrack though, and it does sound quite beefy still. It's still like pretty hard hitting, but it's different, isn't it? For once,
Yeah.
I don't think they fell out or anything. I think it was just.
I think he had other. I think Zimmer was working on other films, so couldn't do it. He had other commitments. So.
Hans Zimmer's a great guy.
Yeah, he is. I sometimes listen to like on YouTube where you can watch his there's like a show he did in like the Czech Republic or something, and he's got like the Man of Steel music, like First Flight and stuff. It sounds epic.
Oh,
I like just putting that on. And just...
Yeah, I've been after the vinyl of it for a while. I've been after the Inception or the Interstellar soundtracks, but when I go in HMV or anything like that, it's normally just a compilation, like one from one film, maybe one from Gladiator. So I can never really get hold of it, but yeah, it'd be great to get hold of one.
That's something I do actually collect. Is I like my movie scores and soundtracks, so I buy them on CD. But I've now started collecting. Certain ones will come out with limited edition vinyls. So I don't know if you guys watch the Westworld series.
I've not, no, but I've heard very good things.
Really like the music to it, so I've been buying the vinyl, the limited edition vinyl on that. So that's something I think could be valuable in the future. But in the meantime, I want to listen to it. So
yeah, for sure, 100%. I do like my vinyl. I've got a lot of vinyl collection up there somewhere. But yeah, I'd love to get a little bit more soundtracks and stuff like that as well. What is in terms of collections? Has anyone got any collections here? Like I know Ian's got a little collection on his shelf from reselling, but is there anything before reselling that you kind of had a collection with?
I'm not a big collector, to be honest, which is quite a good thing, I think, for a reseller, because I don't get that inkling to keep everything, because I buy stuff that I find it quite cool. I can just sell it on, but some things you just have to keep, don't you? And I do have a little shelf up there with a few pieces I picked up and just didn't want to let go. Starting to get back into Pokemon cards a bit. I know that you said, Z, earlier about the whole midlife crisis purchases and stuff. I picked up a skateboard the other day. If that's not midlife crisis, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I shouldn't be doing that, should I? So no, there's no particular collections at the minute, but yeah, never say never. Someone will come along. I'll catch my eye.
I think collections, it's like a personality trait as well. I think, there's something in your head that likes getting things and like physics. It's not like you're very materialistic. It's just like something not to live for, but just something on the side. It's nice to just look at things and stuff. I don't know. What about you, Zaheer?
I would say like I'm more a hobbyist than a collector. So like I'll have hobbies instead. And like, so there was a time where I was like into my hi-fi, and I will be again when I can afford to, because I want to do it properly. So I used to do that. In terms of like collecting, like I've gotten in, I'm having this midlife crisis where certain things are appealing to me, especially action figures. It's something that I've always liked, and it's got me in that. But I'm not like, so for example, I'm happy with these figures I've picked up. I'm not now thinking, I've got to complete the range. So I don't have that tendency. Whereas obviously some collectors will want to actually complete like a set of something. I'm not like that. I'm kind of like, I'll collect all the bits that I like, even if that means there's gaps or something, because I look at them as individual
I think that's a healthy trait to have as a collector as well.
Yeah.
Pick like your different characters. Oh, I like that character. I'll get that.
Well, like,
you don't have to have everything.
I mean, they all do this, don't they? Like Marvel, for example, they want you to build a figure. So whenever you buy a Marvel Legends figure, and by the way, it's a good tip is if you ever see a builder figure complete, they're worth a lot of money. Some of them can fetch over 100, 150 quid easily, especially like Galactus and stuff like that. So basically, when you buy a Marvel Legends figure, they give you a piece. So here you've got like an arm. And then there's what 6 or 7 of these to collect, and then you can build Super Scroll, and he'll be worth some money. But I literally am not interested in any of the other figures in the series. I liked this one, I bought this one, and I'm done with it. I'm fine. I'm not. So that's just how I like to do things. But I'm more of a hobby kind of person. So like, I like my cameras, or I like my computers, and things like that.
That's the beauty of it. I think you can pick and choose what to collect, and you got your hobbies as well.
Yeah,
I've recently been watching a lot of skateboarding, a lot of free running and stuff, but I'm never gonna do it. I just I just love watching it. I think it's great. You feel like you're there, kind of, but never do it myself. I'm not jumping over buildings and stuff anytime soon.
Too old for any of that.
Yeah, even at 21, I feel like I don't want to start like anything new. I think a lot of people that are very good at stuff start at like 12, 13, 14. I started skateboarding like 6 months ago, and I just think I'm way behind.
There's actually a YouTube channel about a guy that was in his 40s that literally what's it when you record everything, like when you
just like vlogging everything.
He vlogged, like he made a journal or a diary of his whole journey from being a 40-year-old person that decided to skateboard to doing. It's pretty amazing. I can't remember what the channel's called, but it's got millions of views, so it's pretty easy to find. And you watch him learning how to ollie and stuff, and you watch him how to. It's amazing. It's okay.
Yeah, I bet he was an achy man. When I was trying to learn to ollie, I was achy enough.
Yeah. Thing is though, Jon-Luc, like there's like a lot of people get put off of doing something that they actually want to do because they don't think they're going to be good at it. But if you start it and just enjoy it, no, you don't have to be the best in the world. As long as you're doing it, as long as you're giving it a crack. So like, hey, how about this? It was a couple of years ago. I actually wrote a book. I wrote a novel, and I've had that published through. I had that published through. Yeah, no, I did. I had it self-published through Amazon, and like loads of people saying, "Look, how have you done that?" And I was like, "Well, I've had a story in my head for a long time. I just want to get it out on paper, and I'm not qualified to do it at all. I just got a story which I want to write."
I'd actually love to read that. I'd actually,
nah. It's not good. It's not good at all.
No, I love the attitude that you hit targets all the time, and you set something else. You set a target of something that you're gonna do, and you do it. Like this year, it was reselling. Previously, it was a book. I don't know any others that you've set, but you've always you said I'm gonna do this, and you go and do it, kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I think there's only very few things. I mean, obviously, as the older you get, you physically are gonna have certain limits placed on you, but even that, there are some people that make it their life to be physically fit at a later age and become incredibly fit. I mean, you can pretty much do anything within reason.
Or at being the oldest man in the chat, I need to sort myself out because I'm getting old and everything hurts.
My back aches at 21. I dare to think a couple of years, 10, 20.
I don't even know what's wrong with me, but I know there's got to be lots because of the amount of burgers I've eaten. So it's just I'm just going with that. But that's the thing. Like I still have hope because I'm like you're never too late to try a different lifestyle, try a different thing. I mean, people change. I mean, I always love those stories. When you hear about couples that have been married for years and they're like 80 and then they decide to divorce. I actually think
it's crazy. It's
just packing it at the end.
At the end, you know what? Like, I'm done here.
Straight onto that.
I think but that's brilliant. If you think about it, it's brilliant.
I was thinking about the collecting thing. There's only two things I really collect. One of them is rum. So you see that cupboard there?
Ooh, yeah, it looks like a spicy cupboard.
That top shelf is pretty much 2/3 rum.
Awesome.
You collect rum. That's
Rum.
awesome.
Well,
Are they
well,
sealed
the
bottles?
good thing is, whenever I finish one, I can go and buy another one for my collection. So I've got about 14 or 15 bottles on the go at the minute.
Blood, yeah.
Do you keep the bottles after finishing them? Like if it's like a
Oh
rare
yeah,
bottle?
I'm old now. I'm not 21 of them. I don't neck them in a week or so.
Yeah, so you keep hold of the bottle and then
Yeah,
store them.
depending on what it is, but I
it's
do
split
like
special.
yeah.
Did you get into it as well? Like, did you start becoming like learning about it? And yeah.
Hell yeah, no.
So it's not just about drinking it, is it? It's
Actually, it's not just the rum. So rum, I do like a nice pair of shoes and trainers. Hence why I sell a lot of them, because I know about them. And the other thing we were talking about was watches, wasn't it, the other week when you guys were talking about collecting action figures, and you're Lee, he's sophisticated, bloody collecting watches. That, we were talking about the one from Alien. So that is what Sigourney Weaver was wearing in Alien.
Oh my god! See, that is the coolest thing I've seen.
It's properly brutalist. So that the original one of those from 1988. That was a really limited run, and they're probably about $2,000 to get hold of now. And then they did a re-release a couple of years ago, a run of 3,000. Most of the time they go for about 1,200 quid. And I picked this one up on eBay. I got it from America, and it had a scratch on the glass. So I picked it up for $550 or $580, and then it cost me 30 quid to get a new glass.
Wow.
So
I've got to say though, like it's like for the original run, like from the 80s, like $2,000 isn't, considering what it's linked to.
It's only a Seiko, so it's not like a Rolex or anything like that.
Yeah,
but
so,
there's still a following for them, and for me,
incredible.
the thing is, like, if you think about it, nobody needs a watch now. Your computer screen's got a clock in the corner. Your phone's got a clock in it. No one needs them.
I
like to have a watch.
I don't like my Fitbit type watch because sometimes I forget to charge it, and then I'm wearing it on my wrist for that reason. I still think there's a place for a good old watch, and sometimes the amount of times I've done that, and I'm just like, I want to just throw this in the bin. Like literally,
you got my wife's Fitbit. The battery has died after 2 years, non-replaceable. I look at the Apples, and with my think about your old iPhones, they don't support them anymore. In 10 years' time, are they going to support the iWatch or whatever it's called? So that's why there's still always going to be a place for an old-fashioned watch, and I kind of like them. And when I snuff it, the kids can have it.
Nice.
If the opportunity ever came up, would you get the 1988 one? Would you go for it?
If at the right price, because I'm looking for so there was Sigourney had this one, Bishop, the Android, and the second one, he had a different shaped one, and I've got that in the wrong colors. I would like to get the proper one, but again, I can't justify spending $1,000 on it, so I'm looking for one that's probably going to be a bit beat up or need something replacing, and get it a little bit cheaper.
Nice. It's a good hobby to have, for sure.
Yeah.
Alien's an epic film. The franchise is fantastic as well. I'm just going to nip to the toilet, guys.
I'm not sure about all this Alien versus Predator stuff, though.
I went a bit wrong then.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, even Alien 3 was a bit naff. I thought Alien and Aliens for me, that was it. I think Alien and Aliens. I mean, Alien was just on its own incredible. It's
good film.
Yeah, I mean, there's like no dialogue for the first 15 minutes. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's brave, isn't it? And then Aliens was just a really good blockbuster movie. Like Aliens was just a good quality Hollywood, bigger, more aliens, more guts.
It's amazing how these sort of classic films have passed so many people by. So the team I used to work with a couple of years ago at work, some of the younger kids, like in their early 20s, they'd never seen Back to the Future, they'd never seen Aliens, they didn't know who the Beastie Boys were. I'd give them homework and I'd make them go and listen to a damn album or go and watch a film over the weekend. I want a report.
I never watched Back to
the Future. Who hasn't watched Back to the Future? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
My kids can quote it.
Watched Aliens. I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah, but then again, you don't know who Justin Bieber is, do you?
I'm showing my age now.
I will also say though, sometimes you think things are a lot better than they are. Like we tried to watch. Me and Becca was just like, oh, you know what would be great? kids haven't seen Buck Rogers. Yeah, they haven't seen Buck Rogers, have they? No. No. What am I talking about? Not Buck Rogers. Sorry, Flash Gordon. You know, the original Flash Gordon. Yeah. And I was like, oh, they're gonna love it. It's amazing. And we were remembering all the bits where he puts his hands in the thing and it bites him, and then like, you know, Brian Blessed. You know, it was awesome. It has in our minds.
Well, has it?
And we watched, and the kids were just looking at us like, you know, like, what the actual is this? And it pained us because we were like, no, it's good. You know, look, Ming will make him fall on his sword, and you know, he's so evil. Look, he's the master of the universe. I mean, but yeah, it just didn't wash.
I had exactly the same thing, but with like the old cartoons. So I tried to give my boys a bit of an education. We had a bit of Thundercats on. We had the old school cartoon Transformers. We had He-Man on. Conan the Barbarian. No, that was a bit later, but we had that on. And just the animation is horrific. If you compare it to the modern day CGI computer graphics of Thomas the Tank and stuff like that, you know, you haven't got to think with that. It does everything on the screen. You just watch it. With that, you kind of had to imagine what they were doing because they were so clunky. And yeah, it's definitely holds better memories than probably watching it again.
It's similar with games as well, because I picked up one of those Mega Drive emulators, and it had like 60 games built in. And I was like, oh, back to my childhood. The games were terrible. In my head, they were fantastic. And so many of them, I was like, oh my God, it's
in my mind. If I think about it, I think about that game as amazing. And the game that I think is graphically amazing in my mind, but when I saw it again, it ruined it, was Strider. Was it Strider or Strider? I can't remember. On the Mega Drive. But yeah, it was just,
Yeah, and guys, I tell you what, I'm so glad that like you've actually said that, because a lot of us, we collect the old computer consoles and it brings back those memories. But I tried playing GoldenEye as well the other day, and you walk around, you've just got this block man, and there's one character in just this empty room, and you got to shoot him. And it's like, this is woeful. Like back in the day, you're thinking hours and hours trying to crack all the cheats and stuff.
And
it's like,
with the N64, I remember like one of my, because obviously you had to know why your choice of console was the right one, because we couldn't afford to buy a PlayStation 1 and an N64. It was like 250 quid for an N64. PlayStation 1 was like, so you had one and that was it, and then it was all about defending your console against the jibes of your fellow classmates. And I remember like the N64's one claim to fame was that you wouldn't get pixelation when you went close to something, to a texture, and all it was they used some really bad kind of aliasing. It was like everything was blurry and smeared with Vaseline. That's how it looked. And like, but you couldn't see a pixel when you looked at a wall. So whereas on the PlayStation it was all blocks, so it was naff. That was it. It was just.
That was my first console. The N64 was my first console, which was my dad. And then it was like original Xbox and GameCube. Like very similar.
N64 was my first console. I think it was because I did well in my, was it GCSEs? I can't remember. I think it was for those. But and then before that, I had an Amiga. That was it. I was an Amiga kid.
Cool. What about you?
Sega Master System, and with that you kind of didn't even have to put a game in. You just turned it on. There was a game inbuilt into the console. Alex the Kid is so hard. Really, really hard. You're just glad to get down the first little bit and like into the water. If you've done that, then you're winning on that game. Is impossible. And it was ruthless as well, because if you died, then that's it. There's no continues. You have to start at the start again.
It's a nightmare.
For me, I had the NES originally, but I got the SNES out of the loft the other week, hooked it all up to the TV, and Mario Kart, it's still, because it saves everything on the cart, it still had my fastest times from 20 plus years ago. I thought, I'll be good at this, because I still play against the kids on the Switch, Mario Kart. I got this in the bag. I could not get anywhere near my time from when I was a kid. And I thought, this is ridiculous. I spent 4 hours on it, and I couldn't get within 10 seconds of my best time. So, as an old man, I've lost it, mate.
I can just imagine Junior Lee back in the day playing that, thinking, whenever I'm older, there's no chance I'm being this.
I remember even back then, I was always like really mad that we used to get shoddy PAL ports with giant borders on our video games. It's from Nintendo, and they used to run obviously 50 like frames a second, and you'd read the magazines and everyone would be like, oh, you got to play the Jap version because it's borderless and at 60 frames a second. It was like, even then it used to bother me, things like that. But I don't know.
I don't know if you've seen on Netflix at the minute, they got the highest score documentary. It's about like the beginning of gaming and stuff. I think you'd all really like that. Yeah. It starts with the Sega, the Atari, the Sega, the Nintendo stuff. It's really cool. What was you going to say, Zaheer, sir?
I know, I was just thinking, like, in some cases, though, you do have to accept that nostalgia isn't everything. Like when it comes to, like, toys and stuff, I don't get why people are so madly in love with, like, retro toys. Because when I see them, I don't think they look
not very good.
Yeah, I just don't like as great as it would be to have like a He-Man mint, you know, I just don't think they look that nice. Like the cheap shiny plastic, but I respect people do absolutely love those, and you know, like I said, so I would never want to offend anyone about that because they can get, you know, serious about it. But that's one situation where I don't think it's. I just think there's better options available. Like I'd much rather have a new Star Wars Black Series figure, which actually looks like the characters, and you know, has a bit of articulation, just looks smarter. And personally,
like the original Star Wars Kenner figures, there's like different variants with different lightsabers and stuff. And you know, when you look at them, they're terrible figures, but they have such a good following. They've got such good value, and it's just like, is that on there? Is that on there? Is that that's not, why is it? That's from Endor, is it?
Yeah,
Stormtrooper Endor. So like, I just think there's such good value in them, but there's not like a great pleasure from them. Like from my eyes, anyway.
It's gotten to the point where like companies are now doing, like NECA actually do Kenner tributes.
Yeah.
So because there's so you'll pay good money for a figure with less articulation and detail than, you know. I'm like, okay, fine, you know.
It's mad, isn't it? You have the Kenner figures.
I know I bought these old Street Fighter figures, but I wouldn't have bought them if they looked like some, because there's some really old ones, which I wouldn't have bought them if they were, in my opinion, crappy looking. Like, but again, it's subjective. For me, I like these because they're very similar to the kind of figures I like. They're very articulate. They're very similar to like a Marvel Legends or something.
Yeah. Nostalgia for me, guys, is all about just trying to scratch that itch again. And that is why reselling is perfect for me. So I was kind of having a moment thinking back of like my old Game Boy and like some of the games which I used to play, and I really wanted to play on them. And I found a bundle which had Pokemon Blue in it. So I was like, oh yeah, gotta get it. Put it in, played it for 3 minutes. And I thought, actually, yeah, I can remember this. And then I just sold it on again, but that itch was scratched. So I just stopped thinking about it again. That is what nostalgia is for me.
Yeah.
That's why I do like a lot of gaming stuff, and I do like picking up original Xbox stuff more than PS2 stuff. I never had a PS2. I can't relate to it. But with original Xbox, I just had I have like an affiliation with it kind of thing. But yeah, you definitely pick up stuff that you've grew up with, and it draws your eyes for sure.
100%. It's a very visual, like for me, if I was to collect games, it would be, if I had my choice, if there was no object to just collect what I want, I'd probably want to just collect Japanese Sega Saturn and Dreamcast games. And simply because I just thought, especially the Saturn just had they just looked so freaking cool. Like the box arts, the look of them, the design of them, Japanese Sega Saturn games. And we in the UK, we got these DVD style cases, made out of card. I just didn't like it. Terrible, absolutely terrible.
Yeah, the thing is, would you buy them to actually play them? You what you do is probably buy them just to have them on the shelf as an option. As an option.
Look at the art, and I'd literally look at the art and be like, oh, that's so cool. I mean, I wouldn't mind playing because like some of the games were graphic. Even now they stand up because they were just like 2D sprite fighting games and stuff. And then they had a bunch of really good scrolling shoot 'em ups as well. And those still they kind of still hold their own, but again, probably being biased. But sprite based games are different.
Yeah, then again, it's just got to be more than just looking at the art. Because if it was looking at the art, you just go on Google and look at the image. It's having it and touching it, though, isn't it? Just like you said, you got to feel it.
Yeah. I just want to say a big thanks to Tommy. He said thanks to Zaheer for recommending this channel, so I appreciate that big time, mate. And does Tommy have his own show as well?
Tommy, if you go and check out Tommy's channel, he does have his own show, but it's very varied in its topics. It's it's for grown-ups.
Grown-up.
Very, there's a lot of. I mean, I'm not saying it's mature. I'm not saying it's mature. The topics can be
very week to week.
Yeah, definitely. Tommy and Tracy both do it, and it's just absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it's something you can just put on and just listen to. It's like it's just awesome.
Cool. I'll chat Tommy. I appreciate the super chat as well.
Night's Life is saying yes Sunday, and then I might be going to see Brian Blessed after. Night's Life in the chat actually hangs around with Brian Blessed. Just hangs out. That's pretty cool.
He's got loads of props and stuff, hasn't he?
Film props and stuff. Really cool. Yeah, he's had some really cool film props. So and TV shows. Yeah.
Vic says GoldenEye best game ever. There is a modded version online based on the Half-Life engine. Great fun. That'd be pretty cool, actually. Yeah, because I know the Half-Life engine. It runs Counter-Strike, doesn't it? And GoldenEye. I loved GoldenEye back in the day with my two brothers. They was always older than me, so I always got beat. I was like at least 10 years younger than my brothers, but and like N64, obviously with your Mario Kart, we used to love like a balloon battle, stuff like that. But nowadays on the Switch, it's a little bit different, isn't it? Like
it's a lot different.
It's weird, isn't it? Going back and playing it, it's different. It's cool.
Actually, with the on the Switch, I've got a there's a little Bluetooth thing that I can put my GameCube controller in, because I'm faster using my GameCube controller than I am using the Switch controllers.
GameCube.
That's those turbo buttons which you turn on.
I think the GameCube controller was like the most iconic controller for me. I just love the shape of it, how different it was. The right stick was like a little yellow bloody like a stub, if that, and it's so much different than the PlayStation, the Xbox, anything else like that. It was
a giant A button, wasn't it? Like a giant.
Yeah. Like such an.
I remember playing a lot of Tony Hawk's 3 on it for some reason. I don't know why.
I know Ian loves the Tony Hawk game.
Tony Hawk's games are amazing. Yeah, I used to love those.
Never played one.
No. Oh, they're brilliant. Very addictive. Like
they're class. They're great because each level's about 2 minutes long. You've got lots of different tasks to do. The soundtrack on that game. So you guys are talking about the soundtracks from like movies. Tony Hawk Pro Skater, the soundtrack on that has literally set my whole music taste for the rest of my life.
Wow.
So I watched that. No, I played that game when I was 12, 13, and it was lots of kind of pop punk, skate punk, bit of like Rage Against the Machine, that type of stuff. And as soon as you start listening to that, it opened my eyes into that world. So it wasn't just the game I enjoyed, but the soundtrack I probably enjoyed more. And it's amazing how just one thing you'll play or watch will have that impact on you, isn't it?
Yeah,
totally agree. No, that's amazing. Yeah,
they're re-releasing it soon as well, aren't they? Ian? Pro Skater 1.
Pre-order it. They got my pre-ordering
already.
Yeah, that's being released next Friday with all the original soundtrack on too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I bet you're gonna have a ball.
Yeah, man. Searching those gaps, trying to jump over and get one of them gaps.
I was going to say, I saw Zoe had a question earlier about what your favourite pickup was, so I was going to ask you, John.
Yeah. For me, favourite pickup, I actually picked up some Total 90 Zoom football boots from about 2004. I paid £20, so I paid up on them. But looking at about 100 to 140, just depending on how good they clean up at. But, like you see George get a lot of Predators and stuff. It's like the similar era. Definitely look out for your old boots. But yeah, that's probably my best for recently. Apart from those Wu-Tang Clan trainers, a lot of footwear recently. But yeah, I'll pass it over to Lee. We'll go around with the favourite one for a bit.
Maybe pass it on because I think I got mine hanging up. I might be able to grab it. So yeah, on to whoever next first.
I think Ian's got something special for us. He's got a thinking face on.
Yeah, no, I have. I mean, a lot of my pickups recently have been pretty bog standard. Facebook Marketplace for me has been pretty dead. The charity shops, you just go in there and pick up the same old stuff. But I know I mentioned it a bit earlier, but that skateboard is pretty solid pickup, and that's a niche that I'm looking to get into. Some of those old school decks can be worth a lot on their own. People don't use them just to skate. You can hang them on the wall. They make really cool art pieces. And then if you get the trucks and like the wheels and the bearings right, some of those are worth more than the decks themselves. So that is something I want to get into selling, definitely.
Even the longboards as well. You can get some really good money for the longboards and stuff, and even the penny board. Well, it's quite a niche really, because there's a lot of options with it.
Yeah, it is. And to buy a decent one, you've got to spend a bit of money brand new. Of course, you can go into Sports Direct and pick up a £10 one, but anyone who wants to get into skating a bit more and takes it serious, you've got to pay a bit of money to get the right bit of equipment.
Yeah, you've got.
It's the same with the details again. If at the minute I don't know anything about skateboards, but once you learn that little bit and you expand that knowledge, then you start knowing what to look for. At the minute, I have no idea, but spend a bit of time watching you selling skateboards, I might know something.
Well, I paid £40 for my skateboard about 3-4 months ago, and that's nowhere near like what the good enough skateboard to like learn tricks on as well. Like I think I paid about 40. Like I say, I got some pads and all sorts. Paid a good amount of money, and it's still more expensive than what you pay in Sports Direct, but it's still not really adequate enough to learn on.
My brother wanted to do like stunts, and he spent some serious cash. Like you can buy like special sets of wheel bearings which are very expensive. There's a certain brand of wheel bearings actually which is quite pricey. Like a set of bearings can easily cost you like 80 quid or something. Then the trucks can cost, and then the way that the board is put together, the type of wood, it's like with anything, if you get into it, it's
it is. And I mean stuff like that, if you're planning to resell, you're not reselling to kids who kind of want to have a go. You're selling to people who are in the know. So those trucks you're on about, Z, there's a famous brand called Tensor, and the second-hand market, you're paying 50-60 quid for a second-hand pair of battered up trucks which have just been grinded,
amazing.
They're still carrying that amount of money.
And I think the bearings are like ceramic and made in Austria or something. I can't remember the brand, but they're like silly expensive considering how cheaply you can buy bearings, because bearings are just bearings, right? Wheel bearings, but no, they're not. There's bearings and then there's bearings.
Yeah, definitely. And then of course there's obviously personal taste as well. So I quite like that look of board. It's quite plain, but people won't like the plain look. They'll like all the decals and like all the graphics. So you're playing to that market too. But for me, I picked that up on Gumtree for 25 quid. That'll be flipped on Facebook Marketplace for 50-60 quid. So that's how I'm going to go about selling that one.
Yeah, it's easier.
The thing is with them, they are quite seasonal. Summertime, that's when you sell them. Wintertime, the hardcore will go for it, but most of it will go summer.
Not like a gift, is it? It's someone, if they're a skater, they skate all year round. And then if it's just someone trying to get into it, they'll probably jump into it when it's, better weather, like you say. What did you get out for it anyway, Lee? What was the prize pickup? Or was it the dress? It was the dress.
I was going to ask you about that one, Lee, because I watched your video and I was blown away by that.
So this, I'll bring it up to the camera. So the
Queen one.
Yeah,
great brand.
This, there was a rack of clothing. I'll stick it out of the way for the minute so I don't ruin it. There was a rack of clothing. When I do the car boot sales, I tend to not dig around on the floor. If there's a rack of clothing, I can flick through quickly. I can tell what's quality and what's not. And I picked up a Ralph Lauren evening wear dress, and there was a couple other bits, and I was like, whoa, this is a good rack. I'm going to spend a bit more time going through it. And then I just saw Alexander McQueen. I was like, okay, this is some really, really expensive stuff. And I ended up getting, it worked out. We did a little deal. I paid £8. Maybe I'll do another stream for you later, Tracy. But it was £8 for that. And in my head, I'm thinking, right, Alexander McQueen, it's got to be close to £1,000 new. And I couldn't find it because obviously it's an older item.
Yeah.
I used Google Lens to look at the pattern, and it's from way I think it's about 12 years old, but it was originally sold for $2,700.
Wow.
So I paid £8.
But
I don't think eBay is the right place to sell it. I've sold the only other really high-end dress I've sold was a Roberto Cavalli dress. It was a runway dress, and I sold that for $220. But I'm gonna look into. I think there's another website called Vestiaire Collective, and I think you have to send off the item to them. They authenticate it to confirm this is the real deal. This is a genuine item. They take a much bigger cut than eBay do, but it means I might be able to charge 2-3 times the amount. So if I can sell that for £400-500 and let them take a 30%, 40% cut, it kind of makes sense. So
100%, yeah, definitely go for the higher end, like a different way of selling it for sure.
But if that's sitting there for a year before it sells, I don't care, because it's £8 sitting on my shelf. It's not. I'm not worried about £8. So yeah, we'll see.
It's like when you get a return, you've got to see it right. I've just lost £8. A lot of people see it as, you know, if you sell like a £200 item and you might get a return, but you only paid £10 for it. People say, "Oh, I've lost out on £200." You just got to say, you know what, it's £10. Write it off. And I think,
literally just had that, because I had an £80 sale a couple of weeks ago. It was a pair of hiking boots, GSP to Italy, and they looked in fantastic condition, but as they've gone and worn them, the midsoles started to disintegrate, and okay, it's really frustrating. I've got to refund them, but the reality is they cost me, I think it was £12.50 new, so I'm going to be out of pocket, you know, a bit, but it's not going to kill me. So whilst it's an £80 sale lost, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, you've got
but then Lee, something like that, it doesn't matter who you sold it to, that would have probably happened. So you could just put that down as just a bad luck pickup almost. Take it back to the pickup.
Yep, that's it.
Swings and roundabouts. Do you want to say a big thanks to Shazad? He said, Krillin says hi. Appreciate that, Shazad. I see him all the time in Zaheer's channel. I think he's a very successful businessman as well. So yeah, I'll just catch up with the chat. I think, Zaheer, what was your favourite pickup recently? I don't know if you've done much thrifting recently. I don't think you've got anything off the top.
Yeah, I nothing recent. It's all old news now, so I kind of.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah, it's too old. Yeah, I don't want to go over stuff. So.
Right.
What's yours then, Jon-Luc?
I was just going just on those football boots, you know, the
football boots. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and if not, then Wu-Tang Clan trainers. But I picked up an Attack on Titan figure set as well, which was pretty cool. It's like all Japanese. It was like a 2-set. I did show it on my stream last week, on Wednesday with Carl. But I'm not sure what the brand is, but it's a Japanese brand, and it does say in the back, for use as a prize in Japan only. So it's very
Van Presto.
Yeah, Van Presto.
Van Presto. I've got Van Presto little Mario figure.
Yeah, and I think I can only find one online, very similar, different characters at £89. So it's just you know, if it's those characters that are just as rare, it's very hard to find that figure set online. I've not spent time to look yet, but you know, very similar set, you know, at £89, which is cool. I did pay 14 quid in the charity shop. I was like, you know, biting my lip when I was doing it. I was thinking, no, it's quite a lot, but you know, I had like an inkling, like a feeling. It was all in Japanese, the text and stuff. So I just went on a whim with it. But it seems like it should be a cool pickup.
Have you seen Attack on Titan?
I've never. No, I actually flipped a couple pop vinyls about 2 years ago. Made some really good money, like the original Attack on Titan pops. Yeah. But I've never watched the series now. But I've heard very good things.
Have you ever seen it? Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's on Netflix. I think you can watch it on Netflix. Yeah.
I've never watched the anime. Never watched
anime. Oh, okay. I've watched anime. It reminds me of the conversation we were having about like new versus old, and how sometimes like anime is like modern day anime is incredible. Like the production they put into it is mind bending. I mean,
I was watching like the making of Pokemon and how they translate it from is it Japanese to English, and the woman who actually does the voiceover. There's a video on YouTube, and she's, you know, they break down every frame and how they can try and change that into an English language. It's just so talented, and how she does it is fantastic.
Yeah. The expressions on her face when she's doing it as well.
Yeah, she's like really pulling some faces, isn't she? Really talented girl. It'd be great to be a voice actor, because your face is actually never out there. You're just really talented at using your voice. It's cool. So I'll just catch up with the chat a little bit. I'm not sure how long you guys want to go on there.
I'm gonna be having to go soon. I don't want to be a party pooper, but
it's all good. It's all good. We'll just go for another 5 and end it at 1 hour 30. Is that cool?
Whenever.
Fine.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, you guys can carry on. It's just
I don't know, Ian, Lee. How are you feeling about it?
I'm going to get another beer, Jon-Luc. I'm all good, man.
I'm good for a bit. I've got an ice bucket with beer in it next to me. So
okay. I'm out in a minute.
I would love to stay on, but I've got to make it. I've got a rhubarb crumble waiting.
Oh, it's good. I wouldn't.
So
I wouldn't let you leave. Don't worry about it. Look at Lee. He's well prepared. I need to go back to the fridge. You've really prepared.
All right, guys.
I'll let you go then, Zaheer. I'll let you go.
No worries. I'm gonna be watching and be in the chat though, but I really do appreciate the chat though. Really, thanks.
Lovely to meet you, Zaheer. Anyway, nice to see you.
We'll chat again soon. Bye.
No worries. See you later, bud. So there's only 3 remain. Only 3 remain. If you are still in there, guys, I've got 88 people in the chat. Hit that like button. It helps me out massively. And if you've not already checked out Zaheer's channel, Lee's channel, and Ian's channel, check them out. Links all down below. I'm just gonna go run and get the other bottle of wine while I'm at it. But I don't know.
Falls tonight, is it?
Yeah, it's the Echo Falls tonight. Ian will be able to get the chat going. He loves it. So let me just see if I can find a question in the chat.
A bit of ad lib. Yeah. I think I'll just scroll through.
Yeah, you go with it, Ian. I trust you with my life. Catches in.
Yeah.
Ian, how did you get into this?
Reselling or
Yeah.
YouTubing or
Reselling.
Reselling, right? So the way that I started was I used to collect a lot of Lego, and I was really into Lego, and I was surprised by how much it was actually worth secondhand. I knew that the sets were expensive to buy brand new, and I didn't realize that they like retired them at all. I was just so new to it. And then it got to the point where I stopped buying new sets because they were too expensive for me at the time, and I was just buying secondhand Lego, and I was building the sets, enjoying the sets. I found a website, Bricklink, that I used to complete the sets when I had them missing, and then I thought, hang on, this set would have cost me £100 brand new. I wonder how much it's worth on eBay. With no intention to sell it. I thought, hang on a minute, this is selling for a lot of money. So I'd sell those Lego sets to pay for that Lego bundle and just buy more Lego because I used to enjoy Lego.
And then it means you got free toys.
Pretty much, yeah. And then it was only the start of this year, right, where I actually had a bit more time. I was on paternity leave with my son. And I thought, hang on, I'm just kind of twiddling my thumbs a little bit. Yeah, I'm looking after my son, but, never mind. And I just thought, let's just give this a crack. And I found a bundle of Warhammer. And it was a bit of a nostalgia thing because I used to have Warhammer back in the day. I thought, I quite fancy a bit of Warhammer. And then, I sold all that on. And it started from there, really. What about you?
It's weird. I've had lots of random self-employed businesses over the year. And, so I've just got a distraction. My eldest it appears she spilt some water in the living room, so she's gone to go and get a load of paper to mop it up. Anyway, it's all Nick Hill's fault. I randomly saw a video of him with a load of sellotape, stripping the shelf and then selling it on. I'm thinking, well, he did it to make a profit. For example, I would do it if I saw a really good deal on the wine. I'd get all the wine because that's my favourite bottle. I know that's a third off. So why would I ever want to pay full price? If I go and get 12 of them now, whenever it goes on deal again, I'll go and get another lot. So I've never paid for a full price for a bottle of wine for about 2 years now, but I didn't think about buying stuff to resell.
Yeah.
So Nick Hill's video.
It's a cracking video, that as well. The sellotape video. He went viral. I think it's got like 500,000 views.
Oh yeah, it was huge
video now. Yeah.
I just saw a question in the chat from Tracy asking if it's a cork ice bucket. It is. So hold on. It's got stainless steel inside.
That looks expensive as well.
Well, that was car boot sale. I picked that up for £8. Now, would I normally pay £8 for a second-hand cork ice bucket? No. But it was cork, and you could instantly tell it was quality. And when I got it home and looked underneath, there was a brand on the bottom called Boda Nova. Googled those. Second hand, that's about 60, 65 quid.
Yeah,
I
fantastic.
really like it, so it's not going anywhere. So that's staying with me.
You're getting some good use out of it.
Yeah, definitely. I got a question actually, boys, for both of you. What is the last thing, apart from like a food shop and stuff like that, what is the last thing you bought brand new? Because for me, being a reseller now, I rarely buy anything brand new.
I'm just looking about my room.
I got an album. Hold on, I'll dig it out. I bought a CD the other day.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I bought Last of Us 2. I know that you've been playing that, Jon-Luc. I bought that brand new. Went to the shop and bought that because I just wanted to play it. But yeah, we rarely buy stuff brand new.
I bought the King of the Hill box set brand new, but that was from a charity shop, so it really doesn't count, does it?
Didn't count. No, it didn't count.
I think the last thing I did buy brand new was a vinyl. It was a signed vinyl by a rapper, Future. You would have heard the Mask Off song a few years ago on the radio all the time, but it's a signed album. It cost me about $40-50, but I think it's selling for like $150 now already. So it's for me. It's for me. It's like an investment piece. I've got quite a few signed albums and posters and stuff. But yeah, I don't buy much anymore. If I do buy brand new stuff, it's normally from America, normally kind of music, memorabilia, or merchandise, really. I can't get my hands on round here, to be honest. What about you, Ian? What have you been buying? Last of Us, was it?
Last of Us, yeah, last thing brand new. I got to think about shoes. I like buying shoes brand new because I do like to go to the shop and have a look at them and try them on and see what they look like. But again, I mean, I haven't bought anything new for a long while.
Second bottle, James.
On the Echo 4s.
You know, it doesn't really touch you, does it? It's only 9%. You know, it's not too bad. So you can kind of keep things moving.
That is which way? That way. Jamie T.
Awesome. It's quite a cool cover, actually.
Yeah, Jamie T. Kings and Queens. So that was an album that passed me by a little while ago. So just picked that up brand new. Yeah, brand new. It's weird. I mean, I mean, I've only been doing the reselling for about a year now. Before this, so all this random knowledge, this has come within a year. But before that, I would never have thought about buying a t-shirt secondhand. Now this is a Hugo Boss t-shirt that I picked up charity shop, £6.50.
Yeah.
I can't get a t-shirt from Next for less than what, 15 quid.
Yeah.
And now I can get something for a third of the price, and it's Hugo Boss. And yeah, I checked, there's no holes in it. It's a nice shirt. It's a quality shirt. So yeah, I don't have a problem with secondhand, but because of that, my eyes have been opened now. There's so many good things secondhand. It's crazy.
You can get some really cool stuff, even like clothes in charity shops, different kilo sales, car boot sales, like you'll never find on the high street, like stuff that's, you know, been lost in time, and you'll, you know, different styles and stuff, and you think that's great, that it's in pretty decent condition, like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 condition. You'll pick it up all the time. I get a lot of cargo pants and stuff from charity shops and stuff. Tracy did mention, is this the second bottle still counts towards pre-drinks? It still does. It's still
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, the main show's not kicked off yet, don't worry. But yeah, I still like buying things brand new, but not as much. You know, when your eyes are open to the charity shop world and, you know, different secondhand markets, eBay, Facebook, what, you know, some of the stuff you see go on Facebook that are real dirt cheap. You know, it's and then you can't really go on the high street and spend the money anymore because you know you've seen what the other side of the market is.
Yeah,
it's hard especially because it's your profits as well. Like you don't really like spending your profits back into the high street because you've kind of made the money that way. £60
B&M, eh?
Yeah, that it's a nice ice bucket though, and he's not paid £60. And do you think
you're quite happy paying my 8?
Do you think that's a keeper for life, that one?
I think so.
Yeah, for sure.
How long have you been doing this, Jon-Luc?
4 years now. I think I was 17 when I started in college. And
what sparked it for you?
I think I was in college. I was doing like 4 A levels. I was working like a couple of evenings a week on weekends, but the money was coming in. But it's like for a student, like not even a student life, I don't really go out a ton. I just like buying things. I was like, you know, collecting things, clothes, and you know, stuff like that. And I stumbled across Nick's videos, Zaheer's, Ben Fitzpatrick. Oh, I mean to click on that. Ben Fitzpatrick. Just quite a few different resellers. And I always had a passion for eBay. I always used to. I've mentioned this plenty of times before, but even, you know, as a child, I'd send my dad links to Facebook listings thinking, oh, I want this for Christmas. Instead of circling stuff in an Argos catalog, it'd be sending eBay links. And it, you know, it was just like I was brought up doing car boots. I had my own section to the car boot. I'd have like my own little toy section. So I was that annoying kid. You know, if you go to a car boot now, I was the annoying kid that had their own little bit. So then you'd ask the kid how much stuff were. I was that kid. But yeah, but I just grew up into the zone, and I knew I was always going to do it. I was doing it a little bit for the last 4 years, on and off. But yeah, really took it seriously at the start of this year. Always been watching, always been selling a little bit, but really picked up at the start of the year. What about you, Ian? Did you stumble across anyone in particular? Like, you know, we've never really heard the story, I don't think. Or did you even see the YouTube thing? Did you just start it?
Yeah. I did. I did. I stumbled across a guy called Thrift School based over in America, and I never watched it because of reselling. I just liked the idea of kind of those massive American, well, they thrift stores, not the charity shops. They're like supermarkets. You walk on in with your trolley and just load your trolley up. I used to love just watching that type of stuff. And then I thought, okay, maybe I could try it here, and went into my local charity shop, which is like a granny's front room. And I was in there for like, a good hour, and I come out with like 2 things, and I was thinking, hang on, this probably isn't for me. And then I found Nick Hills in as well, and I watched some of that, but he was on another whole level. Someone just starting and then looking at what Nick Hills does with all of his setup and the amount he makes, I think, oh god, it's a bit daunting.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it's a bit daunting. But the guy that first got me into it, a YouTuber, was Closet Geek, and literally he was just sat in his spare room, all of his stock around him, and he was selling stuff I was interested in, computer games, stuff that I had seen out in charity shops myself that I could probably buy as well. Yeah. And he was the one who made me think maybe I can do it.
100%. For me, it was fully Ben Fitzpatrick, because he was flipping like quite small items at the time. He does like big stuff now. Yeah. But it was like Disney mugs. He'd sell a lot of Disney mugs. He'd sell a lot of like PG Tips mugs. He'd get a PG Tips mug. He'd get a PG Tips monkey. Put it in the, he'd probably pick them up 20p each. Put them together. He'd get like 11, 12 quid each. And he was just flipping them a lot of the time. Like Harry Potter books, kind of opens your eyes to those. Yeah, it's just at the time, Nick was, it's like quite a big business, isn't it? It's hard to look at, when you don't just starting yourself. So yeah,
I think as well, like with the whole YouTube reselling scene, I started watching it, like I said, not because I wanted to get into it. It's just got this kind of therapeutic vibe to it. It's a bit like a modern day antiques roadshow, isn't it? Yeah. You look at people who are buying modern stuff and then selling it for more. Obviously not like thousands more, but more. And it makes you feel good watching the video, seeing young people who are quite entrepreneurial, making something of themselves. And making money as well. It had a very positive effect.
I've got a question. So, how do your work colleagues know about what you do on the side, and what do they say? Because I've had it's been interesting for me. So I just wondered what it was like for other sort of part timers.
You go first, Ian.
Yes, they do, but only recently, and. Yeah, I don't tell them how much I make or kind of anything like that. I just say that I buy stuff to resell on eBay, and you don't get you kind of get like a strange look, and people don't really know what questions to ask you. They're like, okay, so you just selling stuff from your own house? I was like, no, I go out and find stuff. And then if people ask how much you sell stuff for, then people are like, oh, whoa, actually, hang on, yeah, this is quite a good thing to do. But it's only been recently, mind. I felt a little bit protective about it, And I don't know if it's because I think if I tell people, those guys might think, oh, actually, maybe I can go out and do the same type of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, at my work, I might tell if someone might ask, or I might say what I've been up to, because I always say, someone might, oh, you've got a day off tomorrow, but I just say, well, I'm still doing stuff. I'm not really sitting back and relaxing or whatever. I try to for a little bit, but you've got your YouTube, you've got eBay, you've got packaging to do, listing, you might be sourcing. There's so much things you can be doing. I've not got a family to, you know, worry about or anything like that. It's just me, myself, and I really. You know, it's just like a bit of a lonely life. But yeah, when you say, "Oh, just sell on eBay," or you know, you don't get laughed off, but people don't see it as like a thing where you can actually make some good money from, and it's a misconception, really. A very big misconception. Like everyone thinks eBay, like, oh, you can auction off, you know, some old bits and bobs, you know, but people pay some really good money on eBay and Depop and stuff like that. It's a lot of there's a lot of money to be made for sure.
Oh, really? Because for me, it was a bit odd because company I work for, they probably got about 15, 20,000 people working in the UK, but in my office there's maybe 400. So I'd be coming back from the charity shops, and every lunchtime I'd be coming back with one or two, you know, the Sainsbury's bags for life. I'd have one or two of those full of crap, and it would either be shoes, clothes, or other random stuff. And it would be every day, and then people started sort of asking, "What are you doing?" So I explained it. I said, "You can make money from this," and well, yes. But I went into it sort of both barrels went heavy, and yeah, I got some funny old looks. But then when you explain to people how much you can actually make, they're like, "Okay," but no, there's only like one guy who's dabbling in it now. No one else I know who I've explained, even though they know that I can make some good money, it's not for them. And I think it takes a certain personality type to do this, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's not as easy as like you make it out as well. You might say, yeah, just sell stuff on eBay. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
Yes.
There's a lot, you know, getting up early, you're finding the stuff, knowing, you know, I know we don't have like super knowledge, but learning on the job and stuff like that. I remember really like a good memory of, I was selling a lot of these Kylo Ren children's like outfits during World Book Day. I've still got a ton left for Halloween, but I was walking back to work with about 30 of these. I was at like walking distance from the actual from the shop. So I had about 30 of these. Like they're all like little clothes hangers. Like so, I was literally just grabbing them by the hangers, walking back to my car because it weren't even worth driving to the place. But one of the work members was at the back of it. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm just doing what I do. You know, I sell them online." And they kind of see it as like, how do you do it? You know, it's like a totally foreign concept of buying and selling kind of thing, but there's you know, great money to be made. It's quite funny.
Yeah. Oh, guys, what about your YouTube channels? Have you told your work colleagues about that?
I've only told them recently because I've only got 15 videos. I was looking at my stats the other
Is that
yesterday.
it? Oh, it feels like more than that.
15 videos. Wow. I had a look. It was 15 videos, 700 and something subs, and I think it was 2,800 watch hours at the minute. So we're getting there.
It's a good time.
Definitely getting there.
But, watch hours. That's a great amount for 15 videos. That's really good. It's really good. I've not told many. I think one or two might know. I think a lot of like a couple of friends know. A good few people know now. I got a couple of people that watch that know me. But yeah, I don't need to tell everyone. I don't feel a need to tell everyone. You know, it's just one of those things. It's just my thing that I do. And if they do ask about it, you know, I'll tell them. It's not a secret, but you know, it's one of those things. What about you, Ian? Does everyone know about your eBay? Not your eBay, your YouTube as well?
No, they don't. And I haven't been particularly out there telling people. This whole YouTube world and reselling world is very different to what my other job is as well. You know, it's different to my lifestyle. So I don't think my friends would be too interested in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I put up on Facebook when I was close to hitting 1,000. Said, guys, look, actually, I'm close to hitting 1,000. You know, come over and check. I told those guys because I knew I had something going. I didn't want to tell them too early because it might have just been really cringeable and I might have just dropped the YouTube channel like after 5 minutes. But now I'm committed to doing it and committed to staying doing it. Then, you know, I've got no problem with people knowing about it either. But yes, work colleagues, only a handful know about it as well. Yeah, because yeah, you know, this is, like I said, this is a different world to that, and you know, I don't really want to blur blur them together.
And I think even though I've got friends in real life, I see like a few people that I've met on YouTube as well, just as good as friends as well as people that I've met in real life, which is really cool. Like, you know, you meet a lot of people in the chats you might not have ever seen the face. But even like a couple of the YouTubers I've interacted with, we've got like group chats and stuff. I really get on with people as well. You do meet good people online as well, which is awesome.
Yeah,
You've got that immediate connection, haven't you?
Yeah, because
You've got that common bond.
Yeah, I mean, there was something you said in a couple of streams ago, Jon-Luc, which was really good. This is like your kind of work colleagues, and like tonight, having a beer. This is like clocking off on a Friday, having a beer with people who you are working with, isn't it? That's like everyone in the chat as well. You know, we're all doing the same job, aren't we? We're all doing the same thing, and that has been really kind of useful, particularly over lockdown, where that other option with my other work wasn't there because everyone's locked down. Like, you know, spend time with you guys, have like a beer with you guys, and just chat, and yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It really is. I'll just
I can feel I can relax with you guys now. I was absolutely crapping myself before because I've not done a live stream before. So after the first 10 minutes, it's all right. Okay, I'm all right now.
It's the first little bit. It's Lee's first appearance on a live show before, isn't it? So
smashing it too.
Yeah, you're doing fantastic. Don't worry about it. Been great. Just catch up with the chat a little bit. We've still got 90 people in the chat, so see what's
loads.
Yeah, you don't feel like it. It does feel like it's just us three at the time, doesn't it? JP says, any good car boots around Middleton? I did answer on Instagram, JP, but there is 2 pretty good ones, but they're not until next year. That's why I've been travelling to East Lancs, which is a shame. I literally live in Middleton. 1 minute from one car boot, 5 minutes from another, and that would be my stock for the summer, like literally. But they've not really they've come back. They're not come back since the pandemic. Let's see what else has been. YouTube's an addiction, not just the reselling YouTubers. It really is. I find myself watching a lot of YouTube. Be it Joe Rogan, listening to podcasts, stuff like that. I've got my skateboarding YouTubers I watch, like free running YouTubers I watch. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of information to be taken out there. You just got to try and, you know, get the right information as well, because there's a lot of rubbish out there as well.
Yeah, man. I mean, like YouTube is there for 2 things in it. It's there for entertainment and it's there for knowledge. I mean, that's what I use YouTube for. If I'm doing a bit of DIY, first thing I do, how do I do it on YouTube? I follow the guy, exactly what he's doing on YouTube. If he's right or wrong, I'm doing it right or wrong with him. It's kind of that thing. But I found myself today just kind of looking at this one guy called Randolph opening these Pokemon card packs.
I watch him.
I was just thinking, what am I doing? But it's so addictive watching it, seeing what cards he's pulling.
Yeah, he's a friend of the Sidemen, so I do know of Randolph, and I've watched his Pokemon channel now. Did you see he bought a full Pokemon collection for like 12 grand or something? Crazy.
It's nuts, man. And I think I watched one where it was like KSI come in on it, and KSI was touching the cards, and he was going like sweating and
like a couple of cards that were worth like 3-4 grand, and he was trying to grab the card out. Just so, you know, if you get your hands on it, it can really devaluate the card. Like, value for like a good couple of £1,000.
Wow.
It's just a piece of paper. It's a bit of tree, you know. It's just like it's a different world. It's like I was watching Hot Ones. I don't know if you've ever seen Hot Ones before. It's a show on YouTube where there's an interview. It's a celebrity. There's about 12 seasons of it on YouTube. I probably just opened you to a new little thing, but. It might be actors on there, comedians. So you've had like Kevin Hart on there, big actors. I watched Joseph Gordon-Levitt on there tonight. It was in Inception, like the Dark Knight trilogy and stuff. And he was saying he's a massive Magic the Gathering card collector, and he plays it himself. You wouldn't think, would you? You know, he's super cool actor. He's done some like major blockbuster movies. But Hot Ones on YouTube. If you've never seen it before, they have like 10 hot sauces. So it's an interview. It might be me and Lee, and we'll go through every hot sauce. So it's like 1 million on the Scoville rating.
Wow.
So the longer the interview goes on, the less like you're there, like really, because you're really thinking about. Like,
I think you've just stumbled upon maybe the next video that we do.
Yeah. I might have to do a reselling Hot Ones. That'd be fantastic. So
Lee, maybe you could open up that cabinet behind you and just go through all the different rums you've got.
Ooh, that would be quite messy after a couple of those.
I don't know if anyone...
Jon-Luc on the Echo 4s, Lee on the rums.
Yeah. What is it that you're drinking, Ian? Is it lager beer?
It's lager. Good old-fashioned lager.
I don't think my taste buds have really matured to adult drinks, to be honest. I like rosé wine, and I'd like a bit of spirits, but I don't like shots or anything like that. So I'm not really.
I can't drink shots.
I can't do sambuca or anything like that.
So I hate if you're on a night out and someone gets in a round of shots. I literally pretend, put it down again. I'm too old for it. If I want a drink, I'll get myself a drink. I don't need you to force feed me.
I don't need a shot. Honestly, I'm 100% with you there. If someone gives me a shot, I'm just like, I really didn't want this. So I've got a really bad like gag reflex with shots and stuff, and I don't like it. Just doesn't relate to me at all. I don't.
Basically, I'm old enough and stupid enough to get drunk at my own pace. Yeah. I'm going to get smashed. It's just I'm going to do it at my pace, drinking the drink I want to drink. So
yeah, exactly.
Whenever we all meet up for our big reseller meetup, whenever that happens, I'm getting the shots in for you boys.
Yeah. That shot, I'll be like, oh, I'm looking forward to a meetup and stuff. It'd be cool once everything.
We need to do it, don't we?
Yeah, I think everything is calming down a little bit. We'll see how the winter goes as well. But hopefully, with a bit of luck in the new year, everything, maybe a vaccine comes and stuff like that, and we'll be able to do a meetup, maybe some kind of charity event or something like that, and it'd be really good to get together and actually to meet each other.
I went to the one that Nick and Andrea they organised in Hitchin last Christmas, and again, I didn't have a YouTube channel at that point. At that point, I'd been watching them. I'd started the buying and a little bit of selling and just having a little bit of success. And for me, it sounds so stupid, but it was like, not like seeing movie stars, but these are people I'd only ever seen on YouTube. And all of a sudden, they're in front of me. I can actually talk to them. It was really weird.
Yeah.
Really, really strange. But everyone was so nice. And again, because what we were saying earlier about we've all got that common bond of what we do. Mm-hmm. You've immediately got something you can talk to someone about. And it was great. And it was a really, really good thing to do. So, at some point, if we can arrange a meetup, that'd be amazing.
100%. See, even when I'm doing streams with like people I've watched, like when I got Zaheer on, I've watched him for like 4 years, and it was a bit surreal at first, but it's just like getting used to it, and they're only human. It's a weird feeling at first. I can imagine when you met, Nick and stuff, it is a bit weird at first, but everyone's got something in relation. We all do like similar stuff, so it's super cool. Ricky said, "Hey man, I'm dreading explaining to someone what I do. It's more laborious than an actual job. It's a lot of stuff that you have to do. Like I know Ricky's just gone full time. He has just quit his job. So I know Ricky, you are smashing it at the minute. You don't have to tell anyone at work anymore because I know it. Honestly, he will be bringing loads of bags full of stuff from the charity shop back into the barber shop. I know he was a barber. So I bet it's one of those, isn't it? Like it's weird bringing stuff back from your lunch break. Everyone else goes for a coffee and a little Greg's Pizza or a steak bake or whatever they're doing, and you've got you've got some like women's dresses in one bag. You might have like a Monopoly in the other. It's a bit mad, isn't it? But it's all part of the fun. Yeah.
I think one of the things I'm missing at the minute is the all the free packing materials, because in the office all the old cardboard boxes would go for recycling. So I would just every night before getting in my car, I'd go and grab 3 or 4 boxes, pop them in the boot, and I had just basically 3 boxes as much as I needed. And now I'm starting to run low now, so now I'm gonna have to find somewhere else to source them. I'm gonna have to start paying.
Yeah, I think I get quite a few boxes from work. I get a few boxes from my dad's work as well, but they're running out a little bit. Like they don't come as quick as you want them. You can get quite a lot from Tesco. They give them quite a lot. If you ask the manager, they'll get like a full trolley full. But I went to the range one time, and they actually send them back and reuse them. So I was quite disappointed. But it's good that they're recycling them. A bit cheap at the But they wouldn't let me have any. They said no, sorry, we sent them back. So, but Tesco, Asda, stuff like that, you'd be able to get a good bit. It's just getting to know the manager, I guess, going in to say, can I get some boxes? And to be honest, they're happy to do that. It clears their bins out, their recycling bins. That's a problem for them. If their recycling bin's too full, that's like a thing on their mind then. So you're doing them a favor at the end of the day.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. Just talking about getting to know managers. So for example, I know you both frequent the odd charity shop. Have you started to build up relationships with the managers where they'll not always, like, for example, hold stuff aside for you, but if you start to build up that sort of relationship?
I have done in the past. I have done in the past with certain. I remember there was a young lad who worked in an RSPCA, used to hold games back. He doesn't work there anymore, or I think the little one has closed. He works at a different site now. I've got a good relationship with some of the staff, but nothing really that benefits me. I'm not really going in there to do that, but it would be nice. But I'm not sure about you, Ian.
I don't really go to them enough. I mean, with my charity shops, I kind of go like in a bit of a cycle. So start of the week I'll go to one charity shop, middle of the week I'll go to another, weekend I'll go to another. I don't constantly just batter the same charity shop over and over again. So, and then the staff in the charity shops change as well all the time. Yeah, I don't see the same people regularly enough. Yeah, for that.
What about you,
I
Lee? Have you built any relationship?
I had so when I was working in the local town, I could hit a lot of charity shops in the week, and one of the ladies, she recognized me, and she saw that I was constantly picking out the quality items. So I'd then go in, she'd say, "Oh, I've got some Ralph Lauren out the back, give me a second," and she'd go out and get me some Ralph, and I'd have a look, and I thought, well, I'll have this one, I'll have that one. So I had that, but those relationships are broken now because I haven't been in a charity shop properly. I've been in one since they've reopened, and it was horrible, as in, because they had to set up a one-way system, it was really odd. So I went in, they had half the stock. I felt like I was kind of being rushed because there was a queue of people outside, and it was just before car boot season started. So I thought, you know what, I'm really not that worried. I'll just load up at car boot season.
Yeah, it's quite tough. The one thing I do remember, I have in a British Heart Foundation, in my local British Heart Foundation, there's a lot of media, and there's a guy that sorts all the media out. He's, probably in his 60s or something. He does all the media. And I'd always look, I know there's a lot of media in the back room. I'd always glance through, the window just to see if there's anything that's probably going to come out in the next few days. And eventually he'd clock it, and he'd invite me into the back room. So I'd have a look.
Oh, wow.
Like pre-private screening.
Yeah, but then I couldn't get my phone out and have a look. I'm just trying to gauge if anything's there that really caught my eye, but nothing ever really jumped out at me. But it's one of those, if you go there a lot, they do appreciate, they do recognize you, do appreciate it, and they do bear in mind what you do buy. It's quite a quiet shop, a charity shop, especially up here. There's not, I guess a lot of people go in during the day, but they'll probably recognize everyone who comes in quite a lot. So yeah, they'll kind of notice, what does he like, kind of thing. They try and get involved with you, kind of thing.
The lady who'd started, she wasn't holding stuff aside for me, but she'd make me aware of what was around if something high value was there. And she was saying, I'll always make sure I point it out to you because you're a good customer. And then I thought, well, when you say good customer, I then started thinking about how often am I going into the shop and how much am I spending? And I started looking through the receipts, and I think I'd spent charity shops. I spent over £1,000 in charity shops over a 3-month period, and I have never given that sort of money to charity in my life before. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, it's benefiting me, it's benefiting my family, but it's benefiting the charity as well. And I thought, oh, actually, well, no, that's kind of quite cool because everyone's a winner at this way.
And look, those different charity shops, they've all got different targets which they've got to meet as well. So they want you to come in and buy all their stuff because they're doing better than the Bernardo's down the road type thing. It makes their managers look good. Their managers need to get paid as well. So they want people to go in and buy stuff, don't it? It's a shop. They're trying to sell stuff.
That actually clicked with me the other day. The amount of money I spend in charity shops. I know some charity shops look down on people that are trying to make money from the charity shops, but the amount of money you're actually pumping into the charity without actually thinking that you're giving back, because you're thinking about making money on the items, but the amount of the hundreds and thousands of pounds you're pumping into the charity, a lot of if you added all the resellers' money up into the charity, into what they put
it's huge.
You're looking at hundreds of thousands of pounds in through the period, like you say.
At the end of the day, I'm paying the price they're asking, so I don't think they give a monkey's who's buying it. And I'm sure there are people who look down on what we do, or maybe not look down, but don't agree with our principles, for example. But at the end of the day, charity does all right. We do okay. We're paying the price they're asking. I don't see the problem with it. But some people do have a bit of an issue.
Yeah. The odd person, one out of 20, might work in a charity shop and they might look at someone who's on the phone in the charity shop. But at the end of the day, you're paying the price that they put up, like you say. And if someone came in and bought it without the phone in the hand, what does it matter?
What's your best charity shop pickup?
Oh, now you're asking. I think the best one, I've got a couple in mind. Magic Johnson Converse sneakers, like the Lakers colorway in Converse. Paid £7.
Wow.
I think you got 160 for those.
Ooh.
In the same charity shop, actually. It's Scope. If anyone's from Bury or shop in Bury, there must be 1 or 2 people in there. The Scope in Bury. I picked up a graphics card from the same shop on the same day. Paid about £5 or £6 as well. I got 70 quid. That was a really good day in that one shop. But on that same day as well in Bury. I went to Bury the other week. It was terrible, but it just a couple of shops down, I picked up a PS2 bundle. It was PS2, good few games, but it had the Atari a stick on it. It was like the 2 buttons and the little joystick.
Yeah.
It wasn't Atari because it's PlayStation, but I'm not sure what it's called. But I think I paid 25 quid for the bundle. The PlayStation get about 50 quid for it. It was a slimline, few games. But the actual stick was in the box as well. The joystick with the 2 little buttons. It's like a Street Fighter one. I think I got like 50, 60 quid for that as well. You don't find it every day, but it's really cool to find something like that, especially in the box as well. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about you guys with the charity shops.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had that kind of glory sale, that glory pickup that you pay £1 for and sell it for 100. I just haven't had that, and there'll be loads of people out there that haven't had that as well. But my best ones are when you're spending 2 or 3 quid and selling it for, say, 40 quid. That is a good sale for me. And I get that a lot with football jerseys, and is like absolutely no secret. Football jerseys sell for decent money, and I've sold a couple of Arsenal ones recently where I've made 20, 30 quid on them. And then, I mean, for me, when I go into charity shops, first thing I do is go to the jigsaws as well. So I pay 50 pence, £1.50 for a jigsaw, and they'll sell for £15 each time. And yes, you got to go through and build them. Yes, you got to put the pieces together. But me and my wife love doing that. You get a bit of pleasure out of doing it. So those are my favorite pickups. You enjoy doing it, and then selling it as well. But actually, I had a decent one right the other day, and I love this when this happens. Right, I bought a Tony Hawk game, and inside that was the original receipt from when they first bought it from the shop back in the day. I love that when that happens, right? So yeah, you kind of get like a little snapshot in history of what it was back in the day. And
I still do that. All my DVDs and CDs and Blu-rays, but whenever I buy them, the receipt goes inside it.
You keep them, you keep the receipt, always. But it's so good whenever you find that though, or like whenever the price sticker is still left on it from when it was first bought. And you can kind of just keep track of how that price is changing.
I almost forgot about the YMCA. If anyone watched my charity shop hunting, the really big charity shop that I usually go in, I picked up those England football shirts as well. £3 each. I sold one for 100. The red one was about £66, £69, and then the white one I've not sold yet, but they were really cool as well. And in the same shop, I found a very vintage, like a leather book about old guns. It was like photographs of old guns, like from the early 1900s, maybe the late 1800s. It was like a blue, maybe not leather, but really, really cool book. Paid £1 for it. I think I got about 60 quid for that. That was a really cool one as well. I think it's one of the first videos on my channel. I might, say it in it like a sales video. But yeah, really cool one that as well. Like if you ever see like just something that stands out with you, like gold text on the book, maybe like a really nice blue cover on it or something, and it just had photographs of like old pistols and old shotguns and stuff like that. And it's just one of those random things that you might find.
So super specialist that someone would really, really want.
Yeah, someone's really been looking for that book for years, I think, and I think it went to France or Italy for the full price.
Love it.
What about you, Lee? What was we charity?
I got 3 that really stick in my mind. I had one where it was a Ralph Lauren sort of shawl collar cardigan. It's sort of southwestern American sort of style, and I saw it and I thought, Jesus, that is ugly. There's no way anyone's buying that. And it was £5. I'm like, nah, that's minging. And then I got home. I didn't even think to look it up in the shop. I got home. I looked it up. I was like, Jesus Christ. My mum lives around the corner from the charity shop. I was like, Mum, right, you need to go to the charity shop as soon as it opens, and you need to go and get it's on so and so rack. It's grey. Here it looks like. Sent her in to get it. So obviously, I gave my mum the £5. Got it. It took 2 months to sell, 205 quid. So that was a smashing
Stop
one.
it, Lee. Stop
It
it.
was
What was it?
it was a Ralph Lauren, but it wasn't like the normal bog standard Ralph Lauren. It was like one of their higher end ones. So the pattern in the back was all in silk rather than cotton. So that was a real smashing one. And then I picked up a genuine Burberry Mac missing the belt. I picked that up for a tenner, and that was in one of the rough sort of council estate areas. So it doesn't matter whether it's the affluent areas or the rough areas. I picked that up for a tenner, no belt, and that went GSP to Greece for 160. And then another really, really random one. It was kind of like a music box size. It was really weird. It was a cheap ply box. Inside it was this weird, some sort of weird hippie machine. Basically, I think you were meant to use your mind to make this thing spin. It was a vitality and energy meter. I was like, what the crap is this?
Did you get it to work, Lee? Did you get it to work? Did you test it? Make sure it worked?
I did test it when I bought it. Again, I left it there thinking... Wave. You can wave. Wave at everyone.
Hiya!
Right, go to bed. Right. It was this weird... So yeah, this box with this weird hippie machine in it, I'm going to call it, and it was a vitality meter. I left it there, looked it up when I got back to the office. I was like, oh crap, they go for about 40, 50 pounds. Went back the next day, picked it up for a £5, and yeah, I did get it. And I was like trying to concentrate to see if you're meant to look at it and try and get it to spin around in one direction, and then try and stop it and make it spin the other direction. Yeah, it's a load of crap, but I sold it for 58 quid. So
I find that I kind of have that power after a few of these. So
there you go.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing.
I got something very similar. You keep reminding me of other things. Just before lockdown, probably early in my channel again, I picked up this little. It was called Proteus, Proteus, and it was like a little headphone set you put on. You plug it into like a little radio set. So it'll go in and it plays sounds, and then you have glasses as well. You put the glasses on, it's like little lights in the like the glasses, and it's supposed to like train your mind or something. And I think I picked it up for a couple of quid. I sold it for over 100 quid. It was like 100 quid. Proteus, and it was like an American company from the 90s, and it's like this mind training kind of system. It's quite a weird one, yeah. But like you say, just like really random stuff like that.
So there's money in hippie junk.
Yeah, just basically. Really weird mind, like hallucinational stuff. Yeah, look out for it.
Actually, going back to what Ian said about football shirts. Whilst I pick up a lot of the clothing, and yeah, as I said before, I don't care if it's men's clothing, women's clothing. If it's quality, I'll pick it up. When it comes to football shirts, because I used to watch a lot of football in my teens, and I kind of fell out of love with it in my early 20s. I genuinely, if I see a football shirt, yeah, I'll know which team it is. I don't know what year it is. I don't know if it's genuine or not. And because there are so many, as Jon-Luc was obviously saying earlier about the reproductions, I'm so scared to buy something because I'm so out of touch with it. Even though I know there's money to be made, I kind of just walk away from it, almost out of, I don't know, fear. But I feel so completely out of touch and not confident about it. I just walk away from them now.
And even old shirts, like you're talking 90 shirts, there's companies that reproduce the shirts now. Like City shirts, like you get even in the City shirt. There's a what is it? Final Score. There's a shirt company who reproduce 90 shirts, so they'll look pretty much the same. They'll have like a tag that's a bit different, but they're pretty much exactly the same, and they've got nowhere near the value. Which is it's a shame really, because you think you find a 90 shirt, that's a 90 shirt, be worth a lot of money. Any football team, you could find a Norwich shirt, an Aston Villa shirt from the 90s, and it's still going to hold 70, 80 quid value. But if they're reproducing every shirt, it's hard to tell. If you don't know, you don't know. It's like me with any clothing, like Lee says about like Alexander McQueen. I wouldn't know exactly what I'm buying. I think I found a YSL trench coat, like a beige trench coat, and it was really messed up, so I weren't going to buy it anyway, but I wouldn't have known like fully to buy it, and it's one of those, it's just having the confidence to go with it and learn on the job.
With regard we'll go on in, sorry
guys, no, just to carry on with our sports kind of clothing theme, there's a couple of reasons why I love buying them. Firstly, if you go out and buy a football shirt from this season brand new, you're paying a lot of money for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that always holds well for a secondhand market. But with football teams in particular, there's a lot of people out there that are proud to obviously have supported their football team for a long time. And the way you can get that across to other teams is by wearing the retro shirt, because you've had that shirt for years, even though you've only just bought it last week. So that's what keeps that retro value up. And then at the minute, there's loads of teams going through rebranding phases. If you can find stuff from when they were branded beforehand, that's even better. So I got, for example, I got this Chelsea scarf here, and that has got the old school Chelsea badge on it. So that instantly is probably going to go for more than what one of the newer scarves are, because a new fan who's just found the club, wants to be one of the boys because they've supported them for years, is going to want to buy this because they've owned it for years.
That's really interesting. Never knew that. I never thought of that.
Yeah, no, yeah. There's like a fair bit of stuff like that, and you know, I know like Jon-Luc can't hear, but like before Man City had that big investment, Man City, you know, weren't obviously doing as well as they are now. There'll be a lot of diehard fans. There'll be a lot of diehard fans who remember that time, keep hold of that shirt to show they were the hardcore supporters back in the day before the glory supporters come in whenever the money was there.
Well, one of my bits of advice is, if people are trying to learn about the high-end clothing, go into a high-end clothing shop, whatever your local, whether it's a department store or whatever, go into a local shop and look at the high-end stuff. Look at the buttons, what the buttons look like, how they're stitched on. Look at the way that the collars are constructed. Look at the stitching. Get yourself familiar with something that's made well, and then go to Next, and then go to Marks and Spencer's, go to Primark and look at the difference. And you will be able to then spot quality, irrespective of if you recognize that brand or not. You will know what a quality construction of an item is, and that helps me. So if I'm looking at, Jon-Luc was talking about the Reseller on jacket. Even if I wasn't familiar with how Reseller on make a trench coat, I know what I'm looking for with the quality of the buttons and the stitching, so I'd be able to tell yes or no if that's genuine just from the construction. So if anyone's not sure about clothing, they want to get into it, go to your high-end local shops and investigate. Just just go and have a browse, look at how it's stitched together, and that will help you, and that knowledge will build. And the more familiar you are with something, the more comfortable you are with spending your money on it.
Yeah, it's like you can literally just go into Selfridges. I know some stuff's like £400-500 for like a shirt, but you may as well have a look. Yeah. I really get to know with what it's made up of, like you say. I just grabbed a couple of City shirts, and like Ian was saying about the old branding and the new branding. So like that's the old City badge there. So this is like the 2002 shirt, like that. So that's like pretty, looks MCFC whatever, blah blah blah. And then they've literally rebranded in the last 5 years, and then that's the new badge there. So it's just like knowing stuff like that. That looks quite modern, doesn't it? Like the logo looks quite modern. It's just it's pretty bland to me. I don't know why we rebranded it. It's not really that great. But yeah, it's just knowing the money here. But it's just knowing the what looks a bit old. You know, with the football shirts and stuff, you can kind of tell what the older branding looks like. And even with the older shirts, you know, the material they're made of as well. This is actually quite an 18-year-old shirt. You won't see shirts made like this anymore. It won't really focus at all like that. But it's like in lines. It's not really a sport. It don't even look like a sport shirt. You know what I mean? It's not really made of anything that's going to be, you know, you're going to sweat in. Like this would just go wet through, you know, and it wouldn't really evaporate very quickly like a normal football shirt, like a brand new football shirt now. They're really thin. They're really like, it feels like something you'd wear in the gym kind of thing. So it's just like you say, getting used to the stitching on the
football shirts, right? And no good for the general fans on the terrace. Yeah, they're pretty figure hugging, and those boys on the terraces, you know, you don't want figure hugging.
Yeah, I'll have a quick catch up with the chat. I think I'm 25 minutes behind on the chat. So
no, it does. And Jon-Luc, actually, I mean, before we do that, I do have to shoot off.
Yeah,
pretty soon, but. Yeah, I just want to say, lads, it's been an absolute pleasure tonight. Really enjoyed it. Lee, lovely to meet you as well. And yeah, I think I better shoot. So enjoy the rest of your night.
No worries.
And I'll catch up with you guys soon, all right?
catch up with the chat, and then I'll let Lee go as well. Appreciate it, Ian. I'll see you soon, mate.
Catch you later.
Take care, bud. So I'll just catch up with the chat, and then we'll let everybody go. So we've got 90 people in the chat. Tracy says, I love Hot Ones. Peter's joined in recently. I watch YouTube all the time. TV is out the window. All sorts of stuff. Yeah, it's easily done. It's easily done. Hot Ones is a great channel. So funny. James is the shots guy. Yeah, I knew it, James. Says I'm the one to win on a fruity and spend it all on shots. remind me never to go out with you, James. Ricky says mine's a Jaeger bottle. Oof. I hate Jaeger. It's terrible. Who are the big four? The Beatles of reselling. Oh, I don't know. I'd probably put Nickens here in the bracket.
Yeah.
George Ross as well.
Yeah, George is smashing it.
Yeah, George is fantastic. I don't know for a fourth because I'd say Ben Fitzpatrick would have put Ben in.
Yeah, but he's not doing anything anymore. Did you ever used to watch Joe is Selling for Pennies?
I've heard of him. I've never watched
him. Look it up. He never. I only stumbled upon him after he had a chat with Nick and Zaheer. They kind of done an interview with him, and then I watched his channel, and he doesn't put anything out anymore.
But
he was very much into his games and his trainers, and I learnt so much from him. Never put his face on camera. It was sort of, here's my haul, went through it. Honestly, Joe is I'm sure it's Joe is Selling for Pennies. Definitely, everyone should check that out.
I know the name, yeah, for sure. Everyone should check him out as well because I've heard very good things. So probably put him as number 4. Agreed. I used to watch a couple called The Mini Millionaire on YouTube as well.
Yeah, they do lots of Lego and stuff.
Yeah, they've actually rebranded to Frugal Expert now. He sold the brand of Mini Millionaire. Sold the brand. Sold the Bricklink store and everything like that. They used to do matched betting and eBay reselling, quite a lot of stuff. Lesbian couple, but really cool guys. I used to love them as well, along with Ben. Ads Robinson was quite big back in the day as well. He was pretty cool.
Till the chair humping incident.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd say that's the big 4. Say that's big 4, and then me and Lee, in at 5 and 6.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah, we're in the top 25. Take that.
I had a funny comment the other day. What was it? Someone was basically saying that her and her husband were obsessing over my videos, and I said, I was a bit worried that I go into too much detail and I'm a bit boring. And she was, what did she come back with? Hold on. No, that's what we like. No frills, full of info, and you're stern. And then I realised, I don't actually smile in any of my videos. I'm so bloody petrified of messing something up. I'm miserable. I'm properly miserable. But I'm just getting the information out there.
Exactly. You've got an absolute can of information, and you just tear it off.
Get in there. Get in
there. Vic says, do a charity shop crawl. I am actually planning on doing a charity shop crawl. I'm gonna book a week off work in the next month or 2. I want to do a Monday to Friday full charity shop crawl experience, like Northwest, properly hit it. A 9 to 5 properly experience, and then I'll probably roll the videos out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Monday, Wednesday or something. Just give everyone a little bit of chance to breathe with them, or maybe 2 a week for 3 weeks or something. But yeah, I'm definitely up for that, Vix, for sure. I know I've got a charity shop haul, a hunting recorded already. I need to edit that together. Hopefully get it out this weekend. Vic says, I've just got a friendly with a huge M-House store. They've almost let me price it myself. I've actually got an M-House. I'm not sure how to pronounce M-House, M-House or whatever. But I've got one pretty local to me. It's quite a good shop actually. And they've got a little cafe in there as well. It's quite a little community. It's quite cool. Yorkshire Traders. My mum volunteers at my local, so I know all the staff. The manager knows what I do and get deals. Early entry and stuff kept back. That's awesome. Similar to Chewy, who's probably in the chat, might not be anymore. He was in here earlier. He works in Bernardo's in Cheshire. He's got a big charity event this weekend. So yeah, head up if you are local to Cheshire or Chester, should I say. Do head there. I think they're doing a charity auction at one of the Bernardo's. I'll be able to confirm that a little bit later. But yeah, he works in the shop, so he gets first dibs on little Pokemon bits and bobs. He can to collect as well, so which is cool. PRTV, my colleagues always ask, did you go to any car boot sales or any charity shops, or ask on what I sold? They get really interested in what I bought. So yeah, some colleagues might ask a little bit and Bob, a little bit, but none of them really get into it that much. They might say, "Oh, you made this much." It's like sometimes they act like you're lying to them. I'm not lying. I'm just, I do what I do, kind of thing.
It's weird. I've most of them they're like, oh, interesting. But I've got one guy who mate of mine, Andy, and he's really looking into it now. So I'm almost mentoring him through how to do it.
Yeah.
And I think the one thing that he's struggling with, he when he was younger, he lost his hearing, so he's at the disadvantage that he's deaf as well. So if someone at a car boot sale isn't looking at him when they're talking, he can't do the lip reading. So he's having a go, and he's getting stuck in. So yeah, hopefully I'll help him through, and it'll be okay.
Yeah, best of luck to him as well. That's really cool that he's doing it. With that disadvantage as well at car boot. It's a mad
not
environment.
easy. Well. Not easy when I got all my senses.
Yeah,
so.
all the senses. It is a mad environment anyway, especially in the morning. Everyone's going at it. It's a cutthroat environment a lot of the time. Right, let's flip through a little bit, try and catch up. Motorcycle leathers, jacket and trousers, £20 into 200. Say, awesome, Ricky. Love a bit of that. The motorcycle stuff, you get the right brand as well. You can get some really good money for. I've never done any leathers. I've done motorcycle boots. They've been really good for me. I've made lots of money on boots, so that's something to keep an eye on. Definitely. Yeah, I found some Alpine Stars the other day. They're actually the karting ones though. They're like a suede mid-top karting boot. I went on the actual website, did a Google Lens, and they're retailing at about 195 on the website. But there's like minimal wear on the ones I got. I've got them up for 100 at the minute. I've only had them up a couple of days, but yeah, I should be able to get at least 70 plus on them. I paid about £3, but Alpine Star is a pretty good brand.
Yeah,
they're really nice as well. Suede, like navy blue and black, pretty cool. Someone said paid £70 for a keyboard synth when I was sold for £450. Easily charity shop sale, charity shop fine. And even if like a new reseller went into a charity shop and seen something for £70, they maybe overlook it straight away. You've got to, give it a go, because you might have to pay up for some stuff.
Jon-Luc, what's the biggest risk you've taken financially on like a single item? How much have you've been willing to invest on not so much a punt, because obviously I know that you've got like you're using a combination of experience and gut instinct, but what's the most you spent on one item?
I'd say the most I've actually spent on one item is a wholesale job lot of hoodies. Wow! Like £260 for it, like hoodies. But I knew they was going to sell at £60 each. I've only got a couple left, so that was quite. It's not really a risk. I think I paid.
That you only got to sell a couple, and you've made the money back.
Back in there, kind of thing. And I think I've sold about 20 of those on Depop in the last couple of months.
Oh wow!
So
that's good.
But in terms, I've never really made like a massive, like you see people buy a big whole gaming collection or anything like that. I've never really done that. But I've never really felt the need to do that. I've never really been in the position to do that. But yeah, nothing really jumps out at me, to be honest. What about you? Have you ever had to make a big investment like that? Or
I suppose at a charity shop, most of I've spent was I bought was a laptop bag by Aspinall. Aspinall of London make really, really high-end leather goods. Yeah, and I picked up this laptop bag for 45, I think I paid for it. So second-hand laptop bag, 45 quid is a lot, but I sold it to someone in Ireland for 270, I think, in the end. So that was a good one, and I based that on the fact that I know that I bought one for myself as a present. I bought a wallet, and I think it was like 140 quid, and that was 10 years ago. So I thought, Jesus, I knew straight away that was a quality item. And that was with the shoulder strap was missing. And then I did a really big eBay snipe a couple of months back. I bought a pair of Hermes riding boots, and I knew that they were over £2,000 new. I think they were like 2,200 new. And I picked these ones up. Basically, the person had taken shite photos of them, and so I paid 114, including delivery. Did what I do with my fancy pants, polishing and making them look like new. And then took really nice photos, and they went for I think it was 350 to Ireland. No, Ireland to Australia. So yeah, that was my biggest investment.
Is that GSP as well? Is that GSP?
Yes, yeah, went by GSP, and we went backwards and forwards a few times trying to work out a price. And at the end of the day, if you can't get Hermes boots out in Australia, you're going to have to pay the price I'm asking. So
yeah, exactly, and you got a really good price for them. I swear by GSP. I know a couple of people that don't use it, but I really feel protected by using it. You know, I feel quite feel good about using it. I don't feel any doubts or anything like that.
It takes the stress out of it. It really does, because if I had to then work out for every item how much it's going to be, or if someone said how much it's going to be to so and so country, that's more time that is wasted. Now, I'm on really limited time. I've got full-time job, family, I've got a house I'm trying to fix up. I don't have a huge amount of time. So if I can think, right, okay, I won't make quite as much profit, but I don't have to deal with that stress. GSP, you can deal with that. Well, I'll let them push it.
Say you had 5 open orders, you've got one by FedEx, you've got one on, you at UPS, you've got a couple out on another Australian company, you've got one going to Romania, but someone else has got maybe lost a little bit of money, but they've got 5 going through the GSP. It's so much easier, stress wise. It's all protected that way, and I think you'd have to have an account open in so many different different companies.
Yeah, just takes the whole stress away from you, and you don't. Okay, I won't make quite as much, but you know what? I really don't care. I've got enough going on. Push the stress on someone else.
Exactly. The best thing to do. I know Global Thrifters, they are back in here, and they don't use GSP at all. They've never used it, so they've been used to using without it. And I think that's the beauty of it as well. They've never touched GSP, so they're so used to what they do. So it'd be interesting for them to use GSP as well and see what they thought about.
Definitely.
Husty's Emporium says, I got a YSL jacket from Booty Ones, paid £2, sold for 80. Awesome.
Nice work.
Right, let's see where we're up to. Husty's, I paid $250 for a Nike 4 storefront sign. Wow. If anyone doesn't know already, not like I've got all coming up for sale soon. Should be interesting. Yes, a lot of money for a Nike sign, but I'm sure someone will be up for it. Sure, someone's got enough money that just wants a Nike sign. It's like Global Thrifters. I know they paid $120 for a car door. Don't know if you've seen that one.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of money to pay, but if they return it double, triple the money, it'd be a great pickup. Master of Pieces is still here. So you need to do a video tour of your loft treasure trove up there.
Honestly, it is. I've got so much. I think the wife would call it crap. I've got a lot of crap in the loft and the garage and the shed and the conservatory. Yeah, ain't ideal.
Just a ton of stuff. It's like, did you ever see Nick when he went in his loft and just got a load of old stock out there?
Oh, it's unbelievable, wasn't it?
It's cracking, wasn't it? Even George Ross went up in his loft and he got loads of dinosaurs out there. He got loads of stuff.
Maybe that's the next thing is for us all do loft videos.
I've got nothing in my loft. My old business is in my loft, not in my shed. Anthony says, undercover arbitrage is very good. Doesn't do many videos though. Yeah, he is pretty cool actually. He does a lot of RA and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know if he backdates his videos, so like the offer's gone kind of thing, because he does a lot of RA. So I don't know if he records a video and then he'll gain from that pickup, and then 3 months later he'll upload that video. So he's kind of got like in advance. That
would be the sensible way to do it. You don't want to cut your own throat telling everyone what's good. That would make sense. I've never seen undercover arbitrage.
Yeah, that's the thing with RA. You can't just tell everyone about it, because you're just going to kill the whole market, to be honest. When I started YouTube, I dropped a couple of bits and bobs, but I didn't want to just share everything. Now I just basically go on my second-hand market, because it's just not ideal to just kill the market for everybody else.
Yeah.
If it's like with B&M or something like that. If you found something that you bought in B&M, you search it on eBay, someone else is selling it. You go on their profile, you go on their store, it's literally B&M. So they might have 30, 40 items, and they're all in B&M, and it's like they're all selling them pretty productively. So
I've not done a lot of RA. I've got a few bits which I've at the time I bought them because they were massively discounted. They're not worth a lot now. Now Q4's coming up. I'll see what's coming up, but I might just leave them aloft for a year, because everyone will sell out this year, and then I'll be the only person holding them. So I don't know yet. So I'm playing the long game, but if it means I can make the maximum profit for least effort, then that's the way I want to do it. I'm lazy. No, I'm not lazy. I'm efficient. I'm efficient. That's what it is.
Yeah, efficient. That's the best way of doing it. Be efficient. Global's in the house. Yeah, I love Peter Kay as well. Can be funny. It's 6 foot long and lights up, Jon-Luc. Oh, that's the Nike sign. Nah, that's cracking. To be honest, you'll get some good money for that. Yeah, probably dabble to see if it works. Yeah, you give it a go. It'll be good fun. Just to see like what's the difference between doing it yourself, doing it through GSP, whatever you like best, go with it. But I think that'd be an interesting video as well, testing out
Definitely.
GSP for sure, Jack and Emily. I'm just gonna nip to the toilet for a second. I don't know if I want to get a question up for Lee or something. Let's see if we can find anything. Anyone got a question for Lee? Pop it in the chat. I don't want to jump too far back up. Lee, you're gonna.
I'll figure it out.
You can drive by yourself, can't you? I'm sure you can.
Okay, I guess it's with me then, everyone.
Dropped a minute.
He's properly dropped me in it. I'm just going to tell you what I've been drinking tonight. So my first drink, that's there's a little bit left in that. That was a Negroni. So a bit of Campari, some gin, red vermouth, and I've topped it up with a little bit of tonic on top. That got me in trouble. But otherwise, if you're looking for a cheap beer at the minute, Sainsbury's, 24 bottles of Singer, 12 quid. So yeah, that's got me out of trouble for a moment. And what else? Any more questions? So Masterpieces is asking, are there any more niches that I want to explore in the future? I don't know. I kind of went down the clothing route just because it was good money for stuff that couldn't break. It was all about the margins for me. So niche wise, I'll sell anything that will make a bit of money, but I don't know, if something sparks my interest, I'll go into it, but nothing's magically just jumped up at me at the moment. But it will be one of those spur of the moment things. If something sparks my my interest, I'll go full whole hog and I'll get stuck in.
Did you survive, Lee?
I talked about what I was drinking. I talked about a good deal of getting beers from Sainsbury's, and then luckily I was saved by MOP, who asked me a nice question.
Smashed it. He did say, actually, check out Vanessa Mwizza, good up-and-coming reseller focusing on clothes. Say hi from me. So yeah, I'll definitely check her out, Vanessa Mwizza. If anyone wants to just jump over there now, leave a comment down below or subscribe to her. I think that'll make a day.
Another good person to watch. She's not been putting out anything at the moment. A girl called Louise, KLC Reselling, and she was effectively, it was all clothes reselling, but she's really got her head screwed on. So I don't think she's put out much for the last sort of 3 months, but it's definitely worth a look at her back catalogue.
That KLC, did you say?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, definitely check her out. I'll just actually get up. What did Ian just say there? I'll do a little screen share. I lost it. Vanessa Mwizza. I should do more of the screen share a little bit more.
How the hell have we been on for 2.5 hours?
I think time flies. I think that's how it works.
That's ridiculous.
This is Vanessa Mwizza doing eBay part-time.
I shall check her out.
Doing a lot of clothing and stuff, car boot stuff and that. So cool stuff.
Looks a lot more professional than me, Christ.
You got her own header. That's more than I've got. Okay. And then we got a KLC, did you say? KLC?
Yeah.
Reselling?
Yeah.
And 1.82k there is British as well. So yeah, subscribe to her as well. A lot of clothing and stuff like that. Some different tips and stuff like that. So it's cool to give everyone a little bit of a shout out. 2 more subscriptions to watch. I do like finding new people to watch. It's always good to get a different spin on it, different personality and stuff like that.
That's about it for me. I've got to shoot off now, I think. But I've really enjoyed this. Now, once I had a drink or 3, I'd settled in.
Yeah, it's just getting confident in it and just like easing into the chat. Like, still got 70 people in now, but it don't feel like it.
Mad. I think it's once I was chatting with you guys properly, I kind of forgot that we had a lot of people watching. So yeah, not quite as nervous as I was earlier.
It takes 10 or 15 to get going, but I appreciate you jumping in. Appreciate Zaheer to jump in, Ian to jump in, and Lee to jump in. check out those guys. Everyone's links down below. And hit like on the video, helps us out massively. Check out everyone's channel, hit subscribe, get them up in subscribers. I think Lee, you're pushing on to 1,000 now, aren't you?
I'm about 730, 740, so get in there.
Yep, super stuff. So that'll be within the next few weeks, you know, a month at max. So everyone jump over to Lee's channel. Appreciate everyone for jumping in. Before I leave though, we always ask this: tea or coffee, Lee? What is your preference?
Ooh, coffee.
Coffee.
I think if you split my veins, coffee would be pouring out. I drink a lot of, way more than is healthy.
How many? One sugar.
I picked up something good at the car boot sale the other day. It was one of those, like, normally in the week I'll have like your normal instant coffee, and on the weekend I might have my posh coffee. But I got one of those. It was a one cup cafetiere where you put the fresh ground beans in it, push it down, but it's insulated so it would keep it warm. So now I start my morning like that. I'm wired for the next 2 hours. I'm smashing through my spreadsheets. It's good.
Smashed it. I appreciate you for jumping on. If anyone ever sees Lee, you know, wherever he is, coffee, 1 sugar. That's the note. So I'll see you all very soon, guys. I've been myself, you've been yourselves, Lee's been himself, and we'll see you very soon.